It's the Mixed Martial Arts Hour with
the Mixed Martial Hour, the Mixed Martial Arts Hour is in rainy Manchester. The Mixed Martial Arts Hour has arrived in the UK. Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another edition of your favorite mixed martial arts program. I'm Ariel Hawani, and I am in rainy Manchester. Yes, for the first time ever, we are coming to you live and en direct from Europe, and in particular, the UK, and in particular, Treble City, Manchester. Yes, we're painting the town blue and red. We are here for the Prime Misfits card on Saturday, live on DAZN. And this is unbelievable because if you only knew what we did to set this all up. Yes, I know back in Dallas we had the nice open workout setup, but you know what? Sometimes you have to humble yourself, and you got to do it from your kitchenette in your hotel room. But my friends, we are doing big things here live from Manchester, and I do have to give a shout out right off the bat to GC, who is here with me, and you will see him, you will hear from him in a moment's time. He has somehow pulled this all off. I wish I can turn the tables on this camera and show you what we've did in this very tiny room, and it's a masterstroke. So shout out to GC, well done to him. Shout out to Mysterious Frank, who has been, working day and night. He went to the studio this morning, I kid you not, at 3:30 a.m. Eastern time. For some reason, much to our chagrin, we tried to convince him not to do it, but he said, no, I must do it. I must be there. I must sit in the control room for 10 hours just to make sure everything was okay. So shout out to Frank. Shout out to the whole team back in New York City who helped make this happen. Of course, Corporate Alex, Joe, everyone back there, we appreciate you very, very much. And so we have pulled this off. We are here. We are live. I'm so excited to be in Manchester. Like I said, I've only been here twice before, and both times for less than 24 hours. 2017, the pay-per-view interview, the much maligned pay-per-view interview with one Conor McGregor after the Eddie Alvarez win. And then, of course, back in August of last year, I came for the Forest City game. As always, we are presented by our good friends over at DraftKings Sportsbook. They are the official sports betting partner of not only this program, but the UFC as well. Please download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today, and if you are a first-time user, use the code the MMA Hour, and we'll hook you up. Well, more so, they'll hook you up because they're good people, so please support them because they support us. Now, today on the program, like I said, we're live from the UK. It's 6:05, guys. I finally get to say that it's, because I always do put the GMT, BST time zone, but I'm actually living in it, coming to you guys from this lovely hotel room. So that's very exciting. Back into the show, we'll get the Parlay Pals' picks for this weekend. Sadiq Youssef, Edson Barbosa. Who else we got? Of course, the Prime Misfits card. I don't know if those lines are available just yet. We will get an actual confirmation on that back end of the program. And October 14th, yeah, that's pretty much the big stuff, right? Is there anything else that's big on this? Let me just see here. It's mainly just UFC, right? KSW, little Cage Warriors action, some Tim Tszyu action against Brian Mendoza, but those are the big daddies. So we'll get their picks later on the program. Prior to that, we're going to be joined by the co-founder of Misfits Boxing, Mams Taylor, who's a fascinating guy with a fascinating backstory. And I got a lot of questions to him about this crossover boxing scene, about Dylan Dennis, about the event on Saturday, sold out 21,000 people at the AO Arena here in Manchester, where crossover boxing was essentially born almost 6 years ago, or more than 6 years ago. So we'll be joined in studio right over here in our little kitchenette studio by the great Mams Taylor. He's going to join us of Misfits Boxing. Prior to that, Platinum Mike Perry, who's also here in Manchester, is going to stop by as well. It's going to be great. We have a door right over there. We don't know who's going to show up, but Mike Perry is going to join us to talk about being the backup fighter. Will he fight on Saturday? Is he going to replace Dylan Dennis? Dylan is here, and I think doing a great job of promoting the event while on the ground, the lie detector test, all that stuff and more. I just came from the open workouts. I saw a little tag team boxing. I was on there on the DAZN boxing show with my guy Ade Oladipo, who's doing a great job of hosting. It's not easy doing that for all those hours. So the vibes are tremendous. People are excited. You can feel the buzz in the air, and it's very cool to be here. Everything's okay with the stream. I haven't heard from Frank. He hasn't chimed in. Frank, you're okay? Everything good back there?
Everything's great, man. Just waiting for GC to chime in.
Yeah, GC is here. He's picking up his microphone, so please excuse the noise.
Just had to drag that off the floor there.
Yes.
Yeah, it's nice and cozy in here, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, just for a frame of reference, we're about 3 feet apart. I'm just sitting right here, just across the table.
Yeah,
That's about all the room we have.
Can't see you. I'm watching the stream, so I'm delayed. But yes, it's possible that they were able to see you.
Oh no, I think I got in perfectly.
Oh, you got in? Okay.
Yeah.
No, the stream looks great. Everything looks great. I'm very, very happy about all of this. Great custom intros you like to do. Well done. In fact, we actually almost didn't make it. We've escaped some potential tragedies twice on today's voyage to get to this point on this adventure. When we got here in the morning and we were setting up, we had a power strip, which GC plugged into an adapter, which is what you should do. Here's said power strip. It's not burning hot anymore. And the moment he plugged it in, the whole freaking thing exploded and the power went out in the room. Why that is, I'm still not quite sure. Oh, thank you for that, Frank. That's very kind of you. Why that is, I'm still not quite sure. Why do you think that happened, GC?
I don't know. It has to be something with the voltage. I mean, I think. No, I was gonna say I thought you could see where it's like charred right here on the end of it. I don't know. It has to be something with the voltage because. I mean, I thought we shut the whole hotel down for a second. And we had people from the lobby coming in trying to fix it. They couldn't fix it. They're talking about how they need to bring in maintenance. We had multiple people come in. I mean, we're talking about not even having the show. It was getting very dicey.
It was getting very dicey. Absolutely. Oof. And yes, thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Frank. I was like,
you'd already been at the studio for 4 hours by the time that happened.
Yeah, and then you guys went dark for about an hour. Like, look, I'm gonna let them cook and figure this out, but it's also watching the news. Make sure. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say, when someone cooks for us, we had to go get breakfast.
Yeah, no, it was a nice English breakfast. We'll get to that. Just to fast forward about the second potential disaster that we averted, like around 45 minutes ago. GC said, "I'm going to go get changed." Quick shower. I mean, we came in on the red eye. Shout out to Virgin Atlantic.
Shout out.
They did a great job. First time flying with them, I believe. Maybe back in the day, I flew with them once, but it was a fantastic experience out of JFK. And GC, a little bit late coming back and tells me that his
steamer. Yeah. So yeah, I said I'd be back in 10 minutes. I go, I shower man. We think this is small. My hotel room is maybe half this size. That might be being generous. No door on the shower.
Oh yeah, I love
that was an interesting thing. So yeah, steam the clothes to unwrinkle them, look fresh, look like they just came out of the dry cleaners. So I plugged in the steamer and got the same thing, except this was internal in the steamer. Started sparking like fire, and then started smoking. It was a whole thing. Had to rip it out of the wall, but crisis averted. It was okay in the end, but the steamer is now broken.
The steamer's broken. Is it your own steamer?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
You're a big steamer guy?
Oh, huge steamer guy.
Yeah.
Haven't ironed anything in years.
Just steam?
Strictly steam.
Wow. Were you steaming this outfit that you're wearing?
No, I never got to steam it.
Oh.
This is just lucky. This is the luck of the draw here, pulling it out of the suitcase.
It looks fantastic. You'll see what he's wearing. It's very apropos, as per usual. We went to the classic football kit shop earlier today. Got a nice jersey for my son, a Jude Bellingham jersey. So, like I said, a lot has been accomplished, and I think this is going to be a fun ride. Frank, do you want to address why you decided to show up at 3:30?
Tool tickets for Madison Square Garden went on sale at 10 a.m., and I couldn't be messing around with the show's needs at that time.
Oh, so this was strictly a self. Because initially you said you were doing it because you were feeling nervous about the show.
Yeah, I mean that was just to be a team player. But once you started hassling me about it, I had to let the truth come out.
You had to come clean.
It's my 18th show. Yeah, I wasn't about to jeopardize.
You got the tickets.
Oh, I did.
Nice. Pretty penny.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because they're playing 2 nights, and I'm like, I could only swing one right now.
Well done. Well done. By the way, I'm looking at the stream, and first time I noticed this, because I see everyone's like finally giving up hope that Twitter's going to go back to Twitter. Do we have to lose the little blue bird guy, or?
Oh, yeah, I guess, we need to update it to the
black
X.
Yeah. The black X is so ugly.
It is X, though.
The blue
I feel like every time someone addresses Twitter these days, they're just like, on Twitter, is it X? Do we call it X
We do that whole thing.
I mean, technically it's X.
The blue bird just kind of smacked me in the face over there. This is in the shot, so let me get rid of this. Okay, so we have a lot to get to, and of course, yesterday on the plane, I found out and was able to confirm that Alex Volkanovski is now fighting at UFC 294 against Islam Makhachev for the lightweight title in just 10 days' time. We're going to get to all that in a moment. But I do want to say one other quick thing right off the top. I appreciate everyone who has been so kind in reaching out to me about Monday's show, and in particular, those on our Substack. What a positive place. That Substack has become like this oasis of positivity. It's really remarkable. And so I really do appreciate it. And I appreciate the people who may have respectfully disagreed with anything I've said on the show or on social media and go about it in a respectful way. Unfortunately, there's a ton of people who don't do that. And I'm not trying to convince those people or anyone when I talk about how I'm feeling. I'm just letting you know how I'm feeling. And I don't think that there are enough people in my position who come from where I come from and who have my beliefs and faith who are comfortable enough expressing how they are feeling. So I'm not trying to convince anyone. I'm not trying to debate anyone. I'm just letting you know how I am feeling, and I appreciate people being receptive to that. It's definitely been a very, very hard time, and it's hard to honestly get excited about even things like this. I'll be honest, I won't say this on DAZN, but it was hard to leave yesterday. It was hard to leave my family. It was hard to leave my wife. It was hard to not feel guilty about leaving, and it's hard to feel like anything is important when things like what is happening in Israel are happening. But just like a lot of you said, Monday's show was an escape. This show is an escape for me as well. And so I appreciate everyone being sensitive to that and understanding that there are things happening every day around the world. And it's hard to feel connected to all of them. But this is one that means a lot to me. And I'd like to think that we have a kinship after all these years. And if you don't care, you're just indulging me. If you do care, you're open to my viewpoint. And ultimately, I'd like to think, like I said on Monday, everyone who is a part of this community that we have all agrees on one thing, and that is that everyone wants peace and harmony, and no one wants to see innocent lives lost. And so let's hope that those days are coming in the very near future, and that we can move past all of this, even though right now it's very hard to stomach. So wanted to get that off my chest, and I feel always compelled anytime I do something now that I have to say something like that, because I don't want to come across as insensitive to anyone. So I do appreciate you listening to me and you understanding where I'm coming from. And I do feel, before I move on once and for all today off this topic, I do feel like I need to reiterate my point from Monday, which is that everyone who believes in what I believe in believes that Palestinian people are good people who deserve freedom, who deserve to have their own state, who deserve to have everything that everyone else wants. We do not believe in terrorism, terrorist groups. We don't believe in Hamas. And I think that most sane people understand the distinction, and no one wants to see innocent people lose their lives or be tortured or be held hostage. No one wants to see that. I don't know why I feel the need to reiterate that, but I do, and that is important for me as well. My heart goes out to everyone in Israel right now. Last night, we're on the plane, and I can't get on the internet, and I'm obsessed with the internet right now. I'm obsessed with social media because of what's happening in Israel, and I can't get on the internet for like the first hour and a half, so I'm giving props to Virgin Atlantic, but the Wi-Fi was a little dicey if I'm being honest. And then finally I get on the internet, and now I don't even know what time it is, because like when you're flying over the Atlantic, the time zones get all screwy mid-flight, and I get a text from my nephew Jared, who texts me, "Is Oliveira out of the fight?" Excuse me. Yes, is Oliveira out of the fight? And I'm like, what? So then I quickly go on Twitter and I see a post. I do want to give a shout out to, do you know the name of the podcast? It's
the Underdogs podcast.
The Underdogs podcast. They were the first ones to report that Charles Oliveira
Our very own Mike Perry coming in.
Yes, that's right, Mike Perry. He has. Is he
Newsbreaker?
Is he a part of it?
Yes, yeah, he's on it. He's on it frequently.
He's like a co-host on it.
I can't say if he's a co-host or not, but he is on it frequently.
All right. Well, shout out to Mike Perry. They reported that Charles Oliveira was out and that Alex Volkanovski was in. And at this point, we're talking 11 days before the fight. Shortly thereafter, Dana White is doing his post-fight press conference at the Contender Series, and he confirms that it is happening. Charles Oliveira suffered a cut over his eye in his final sparring session, and as a result, they called up Alex Volkanovski. No hesitation whatsoever, I'm told. 11 days notice, coming off of hand surgery after his win over, the win, my mind is mush right now. His win, I don't even know. Oh, Yair Rodriguez, back on July 8th, comes off of hand surgery, says he was going to go to Abu Dhabi, ends up going to Abu Dhabi, takes this fight against arguably the best fighter in the world right now, pound for pound, Islam Makhachev. A lot of people believe that. And they rematch the fight that happened back in February that was so damn close and so damn thrilling. And so it's going down. It's the main event of UFC 294. In case you have been living under a rock, this is actually happening. I spoke to Volkanovski. He told me no hesitation whatsoever. In fact, he gave me a quick quote here. What a legend he is. Balls of steel. Didn't hesitate at all. It really excites me. It's meant to be. No better man to take a job like this. And then I asked him when he was allowed to start sparring and using his hand. Fully medically cleared. He said, I was allowed to start sparring less than a month ago. I was able to grapple and wrestle a couple of weeks before, though. What a freaking legend. How many guys are taking this opportunity? So he's moving up to 155. And obviously it's a bummer for Charles Oliveira, and a lot of people were looking forward to that fight. He's supremely popular. But unfortunately, that opportunity isn't going to come. So there's a few dominoes here. Number one, Alex Volkanovski was in talks to fight in Toronto in January against Ilia Topuria. Now, they had never really finalized that just yet. That was still like kind of in the works, so to speak. But I asked Volkanovski's manager, Ash Belcastro, who you've seen on this show before, all right, does this mean Toronto is off the table? He said, no, Toronto's not off the table. 8 weeks later, we'll be good to go. So what I'm told is the UFC's current hope and plan is, and maybe you're playing with fire a little bit, if Alex Volkanovski wins the belt and beats Islam Makhachev and is healthy and is good to go, he is ready and willing and open to fighting Ilia Topuria in Toronto. That is yet to be officially announced as the location, but in the January pay-per-view, and we all assume it's Toronto, and a lot of people have said it's Toronto. And that's what people are saying internally. If he loses, there is an option on the table to have Topuria fight Max Holloway. And if it means that he's going to be out for an extended period of time, then perhaps that will be for an interim title. So as you can see, there's a lot going on here. But I want people in Toronto to know, or whomever was planning on going to that January pay-per-view, that just because Alex is taking this fight on 11 days' notice against Islam doesn't necessarily mean he is out of the fight in 2 months. Now, we just went through this with DDP. 2 months isn't exactly a ton of time, but who knows what happens on October the 21st. I'm telling you what is being discussed right now. So that's the first part of this Abu Dhabi kind of mess. I would say that a lot of people, while they are, excited, some are bummed that Charles isn't fighting. Now, there's a small group of people out there, we have to be honest, who are saying, what about Mateusz Gamrot? This is the next step. Mateusz Gamrot is the backup fighter. Why isn't he getting this opportunity? Well, I asked his manager, Dan Lambert, about that, and he said there's no issues there. They know the score. They're prepared to be the backup fighter if someone misses weight, if someone isn't ready to go on fight week. But, they understand that with enough time, if they could get someone like Volkanovski, they're cool with it. He's still the backup fighter. and he hopes that this gets him a title shot next, but he doesn't feel slighted. He doesn't feel offended. They get it. And so much respect to them for getting it and for understanding that the Volkanovski rematch is the bigger fight. So that's the second part of the scenario. Now we've got a third part, which doesn't pertain to the main event, and that is the Paulo Costa situation. Paulo Costa was on the show on Monday. You could tell that he was a little bit exasperated. He was sweating. He was trying to, I think, send a message to the world that despite the elbow injury, he is good to go and he wants to fight Khamzat Chimaev. He even said today on Twitter, I'm good to go. I want to fight. What I've heard is that the UFC has approached several people and they're looking for a plan B. Is he officially ruled out as of right this second? No. Is it looking promising? No. Have crazier things happened? Yes. And so we have to wait and see. Jared Cannonier was an option. I'm told he's no longer an option. Marvin Vittori has tweeted about it. Roman Dolidze has tweeted about it. Daniel Cormier has said they're working on something crazy. All of this very much in the works. Khamzat's going to fight on the card. He's got to. I wish it was against Paulo Costa. That to me was the people's main event. But right now it's a little bit up in the air. So that's all that we know as of right this second regarding the chief support for UFC 294, or dare I say the co-main event, or dare I say the double headline, or dare I say the people's main event. You decide. And then, of course, the main event as well. So a lot going on in the world of MMA, and I'm sure you have a few questions about it all. And so without further ado, time now for everyone's favorite segment of the week. It is time.
It's time for a good old-fashioned Q&A, MMA fans.
It's a good old-fashioned Q&A.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moment has arrived.
I just read someone in the chat say Tool is bad.
Live from the Vox Studios.
Why would you say that?
New York City.
Why would you repeat what they said?
Oh, actually, he says Tool is dope. That means that's good, right?
Depending on what generation you're from.
Because here he is, Ariel Helwani.
Has corrected me.
Yes.
The credit actually goes to the Overdogs podcast.
What'd you say, the Underdogs?
I could have sworn I said over, but I mean, we can always go back and check the tape. But Rick, 101% sure we said Underdogs. So yeah, proper accreditation.
Thank you.
There.
Yeah,
Overdogs.
no, we're all about crediting people. That right there is akin to the credit under the initial tweet, what you just did.
Yeah, I think that is.
I tried to get you in the first tweet. You went with the happy punch. Right?
Shout out Mike Perry. Shout out Mac Malley.
Yeah, all those guys. Well, Mike Perry will have something to say about it in the kitchen. Someone in the chat I just saw said that this setup looks like our old setup. Is New York Rick there?
I'm here.
Yeah, New York Rick. Doesn't this feel like the old across the street from B&H 34th Street, like spaceship setup with the gray? Do you remember that?
As soon as I saw you, I thought,
yes,
broom closet studio on 34th Street. It's crazy, also the angle. It's the angle of the shot as well that's contributing to it.
Oh, there he is, New York Rick. How are you? So lovely to see you.
I'm good.
I love how you're watching the
I'm watching the raw stream.
He's been up for like 45 seconds.
He did all the setup for you.
New York Rick.
I should be looking at the Zoom. My bad. It's so great.
But yes, we're on the same page. We're on the same page for sure.
Scale 1 to 10. Where and we can poll the room. Where's the FOMO levels right now? I mean, does anyone have major FOMO about us being here and you guys not? Or we'll start with you, New York Rick.
Avoiding outlet fires and other things like that. So far, I'm at like a 3 out of 10 FOMO. But as the week goes on and there's a lot of action and excitement and fun and hangs, that's where it'll creep up. But right now, I'm just happy to have avoided the catastrophes that you also narrowly avoided.
Yeah,
I mean, on the flip side of that, I am looking out a window right now at beautiful rainy Manchester. If that changes things, I mean, we are right in the heart of the city.
Just have to rub it in, huh?
Yeah, Frank. I think Frank is feeling it.
Yeah, what about you?
Yeah, I'm heartbroken.
Yeah, Frank is actually living on UK time all week. That's why he went into the studio at 3 a.m. He has that much FOMO.
I can't believe it. Next time.
Yeah. Well, Frank, we wish you were here. We've had We've had
do me a
a
favor.
fantastic breakfast. Yes, we had a traditional English breakfast. It was great. We were thinking about you the whole time. Yes,
For the rest of the week, don't call it Manchester. Call it Manchester, and then I'll be happy.
Why?
Oh, I've actually been calling it the Chester. That's what the locals seem to call it. They all say they all refer to it as the Chester.
I heard someone say that you are a. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this word. Am I? They said you're not a good person if you call it the Chester.
Wow.
They like Treble City. That's what I've been told.
I was mixing with the locals in my mini trips to the mall across the street today.
Okay.
Went several times.
You heard the Chester?
I was boots on the ground, man, on the street, and every murmur I heard was great to be back in the Chester.
All right.
By the way,
first time for you in
Chester's on fire
the UK.
This week. First time ever. It's amazing. I was so thrown off when we got in the car this morning. Driver on the right side.
We almost got run over.
Cars on the other side.
I mean, there's been a lot
there was a
of
trolley that came very close to eliminating us both.
But that English breakfast was something else.
English breakfast was great.
We had the roasties.
The roasties
were my God, you know yourself.
The potatoes,
guys.
the
Sorry. We don't mean to rub it in, guys. It's just been so much fun. Let's get to the first question. P the G, and joining us in about 30 minutes will be Mike Perry. Mams Taylor going to join us, and there's a lot going on, by the way, in the world of crossover boxing. I just saw right now that Ryan Taylor, who's fighting on the card against Swarms, has just been arrested, and it's unclear if the rematch is going to happen. Dylan Dennis, I mean, it's just so much. Anyway, P the G. Welcome Ariel and GC to Manchester. For myself, just outside of Manchester. How about number one Giga Chad, Mr. Balls Drag on the floor when he walks into the room, Alex Volkanovski. Takes the rematch on 11 days' notice. What a guy, what a sport. Should Volk get it done? Where will it rank on the all-time great title wins, in your opinion? Against a guy like Islam, it's got to be right up there. Enjoy Manchester, boys. I mean, holy smokes. Fought in July, surgery on his hand, 11 days' notice, no hesitation. Up a weight class. Let's not forget. Like, he made it seem normal in February, but this is up a weight class. It would be one of the all-time great feats, I think, especially considering the opponent. Like, let's also give credit where it's due. Islam had to accept the fight, right? That's something John Jones didn't want to do against Chael Sonnen back at UFC 151 when that whole thing was going down with Dan Henderson getting hurt. So Islam had to say yes. Thankfully, he did. We get this great fight. The ball's on Alex Volkanovski to take this fight. Now, you can also say, brilliant move on his part, win-win, right? Win-win. You don't lose your belt. You're only gaining things, gravy. Enemy territory, sure, but you're going up, you lose the fight, you're still the featherweight champion. So it's really a perfect scenario for him. You go 5 rounds, you fall short. Hey, you know, you freaking went out there, old college try. You win, you're a legend. I mean, like, there's really no drawback, right? There's no drawback whatsoever here for him. Islam put it out there, no excuses if you lose. I don't think he's going to give any excuses. He knows what's going on. But this is a guy who has shown us who he is from the moment we met him. Remember when he almost like had his leg amputated after the Aldo fight, and he's joining us like from the hospital, and he's talking like his leg just swells up. Remember when he flew from Australia to Edmonton just to be the backup fighter to Max Holloway versus Frankie Edgar? Remember when he flew as the number 1 pound-for-pound fighter, as the featherweight champion to Abu Dhabi to be the backup fighter to Islam Charles? We know who Volk is. I feel comfortable in saying this. I think Alex Volkanovski might be my favorite fighter right now to talk about and cover and just like represent MMA, because I have so much respect for the way he goes about things, the way he treats others, the way he conducts himself, the professionalism, the activity, the fights themselves. Like, this was the guy who was starting to feel like for a moment like he was going to go down the Mighty Mouse route of not being respected enough. And luckily for him, people are respecting him and showing him love. And in this sport, you know, you do things like this, you get respect, and you're shown love. As far as like where this would rank, has someone done this on short notice and shocked the world? My mind is mush. Does anyone come to mind for you, New York Rick? Has someone done something like this and won? Shocked the world?
No. Yeah, I mean, Michael Bisping, right? What do we mean by done something like this?
Bisping's a good one. Yeah, Bisping's a good one. What I mean by something like this is super short notice against a super tough opponent, and won the belt.
Bisping's probably the best one, right?
Yeah, Bisping's the best. Although I would say, and this is not revisionist history, Rockhold wasn't Makhachev right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Rockhold didn't have the dominance.
Yeah,
is that not fair?
I agree with that. But Makhachev's only title defense is against a featherweight and is about to be against a featherweight again. Like, this could be early. This could be, it could be like Rockhold. We don't know where it goes from here. So I think it's probably the best comparison. Now, that's not, by the way, that's not to say that I'm predicting doom and gloom for Islam Makhachev, but like, I don't think that his resume is like super strong compared to Luke Rockhold at that time. It's pretty similar.
Sure. Yeah, no, that's a great one. Is there a line out for this fight?
Yeah, I saw Islam opened at -200. I think he's down to -260 now.
Wow. Okay. Wow, this is interesting. There's some other breaking news that I'm seeing right over here. This is from Turkey. You seen this?
No, what do you got?
Oh, this is breaking news from Turkey. Al Sheikh, who is the I don't know what's the proper way. They refer to him as His Excellency out of Saudi Arabia. He where are you going, GC? Oh, okay. He has just announced on Twitter, I'm seeing, he's the one responsible for bringing the boxing to Saudi Arabia, for bringing the WWE to Saudi Arabia. For the first time in the kingdom, a historical exceptional night with Riyadh season on the 2nd of March, a UFC fight night in collaboration with Riyadh season. UFC coming to Saudi Arabia, which I think a lot of people, I think a lot of people didn't expect that because of their relationship with Abu Dhabi. This has just become a show where we talk about Middle East politics. But that is pretty wild. And WWE has just reposted this. Did you not see this? Because he posted this like 30 minutes ago. Has no one picked up on this?
I did not see that. No, UFC I think now that you've mentioned it, I'm starting to see it. But yeah, it is definitely interesting. To your point, the relationship with Abu Dhabi, I wouldn't have expected that, but it seems like, there's definitely no shortage of UFC events. So there is opportunity to satisfy all.
This is huge because I think a lot of people, and a lot of people were saying that the PFL being in business with Saudi Arabia was going to be like a huge development in their battle to, be the number 2 or to challenge the UFC, whatever. And now we see that the UFC has a relationship with Saudi Arabia as well. This is the press release. As part of its thrilling activities, Riyadh season will host a UFC fight night in collaboration with the UFC, the world's premier mixed martial arts organization. On Saturday, March 2nd, 2024, the event will feature a variety of UFC's most successful and internationally known fighters. UFC CEO Dana White will announce participating athletes in the coming months. And of course, UFC is owned by Endeavor, who own WWE now in large part, and they have a relationship of several years with Saudi Arabia as well. So it seemed like perhaps a natural that relationship would extend to the UFC. So very interesting times in the world of combat sports. Let's keep it going. Iman O'Keefe. Hey, Ariel crew. Who would you rank as Bellator's greatest ever fighter based on fights inside Bellator only? Wow. Would you say Pitbull? Would you say Patricio Pitbull? Is that a fair one, Near Crick? I feel like he's the most decorated.
That's probably my answer. He's just been there for such a long stretch and accomplished everything you can for the promotion. He's who, if you close your eyes and say Bellator, he's the fighter that comes to mind. He's the one that I think of for sure.
Yeah. JC. So we're gonna have the in-studio guest come in, but it's gonna be like you ever watch Seinfeld when Kramer was hosting a show out of his apartment and it's like, who's here? And the door's just gonna open and someone's gonna walk into the room. That's what this is gonna be like. I hope they're not expecting a high level production. I think the production is great, but I just I hope they're not expecting like a big time
The kitchenette.
Like a big time setup here. But I think we're pulling it off. What do you think, Frank? Do you think we're pulling it off?
I think it looks great. I'm super proud of us. But once you put this out of my head of someone walking in to be like,
it's about to happen.
Oh, thanks, Ariel.
It's about to happen. I'm going to say, would you like something microwave before we start? I have a microwave right over there. There it is. Okay. Here we go. I'm going back to the questions. My apologies. Okay. He had a second question there. What do you think will happen with Mauro Ranallo once the PFL purchase goes through? It's a great question. It would be amazing to see him call some UFC fights. He's too good to not be working. Thanks as always. There's a big question about the future of boxing on Showtime, which I know nothing about. I know I've appeared on some of the broadcasts, but I really don't know anything about the future of combat sports, period, or Showtime sports. Everything is changing. I never thought that real sports would go away. With Brian Gumbel, I never thought that would be a thing. So, yeah. For some reason, the UFC has never looked into Mauro. I remember there was one time back in the day on Embedded. It wasn't even Embedded. It was the Dana White video blogs where they were kind of, Joe Rogan was kind of mocking him. Do you remember this, New York Rick? Like the way he would speak and stand. That was a thing at one point. And they just never seemed to, I don't know. And of course, he has the relationship with WWE. I would be shocked if someone doesn't pick him up. He's the greatest combat sports announcer, and I say that in that way because he could do MMA, pro wrestling, kickboxing, and boxing. There's no one on the planet that could do that at the level and with the quality that he does it. So I would hope that someone picks him up. Maybe it's the PFL. Why not? Why can't he go over there? Although the PFL has a great team too. I really like their team. Sean O'Connell does a great job as a play-by-play guy and doesn't get enough credit, in my opinion, from going from an athlete to a play-by-play guy. Most athletes go from athlete to color analyst. He goes from athlete to play-by-play guy. That's absurd. That's like extremely rare. Pat Summerall did it as a kicker for the Giants and became a great play-by-play man in football. But, the typical play-by-play guys are guys like Marv Albert, Ian Eagle, Mike Breen, Joe Buck, John Anik, Mike Goldberg. These aren't athletes. They're broadcasters. And then the color analyst, the other person in the booth, is usually the ex-athlete. Yeah, he's incredible. Sean O'Connell's incredible. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Could it be the UFC? Sure, but they've never really shown great interest for whatever reason. That would have to be a question for them. Greetings, Ariel and crew. Welcome to our shores once again. Thank you, Kai. My question pertains to UFC 300. You've repeatedly said that they don't need to stack the deck and should use Conor McGregor on 299 or 301. Conor McGregor, by the way, showing us on Twitter today that he has received a message from USADA welcoming him back into the pool. So that is very promising. My question is, why is 300 such a guaranteed pay-per-view drop they don't stack the deck? How will that cross over to mainstream public buys? Just because it's an anniversary show. Personally, I think they need Conor to tip it over into the million-plus range, similarly to how they booked 200 with a stack card and the return of Brock. Much love and hope the UK trip is a good one. I will answer that in a moment. But right now, we have a guest at the door, guys. Do we have a ding-dong, Frank? Do we have something like that?
That's a negative.
Okay, perfect. Let me go see who's here. 1 second, guys. I'm going to put my headphones down.
This is like...
and get the door. 1 second. Let's see how far my microphone can extend.
Should be 15 feet.
Do we have a guest? There he is! Wow! Mike Perry is here. My good friend. We're live, Mike. I know you are used to having a great studio on your show, The Overdogs, I believe it is.
Yes.
But here we are trying our best to broadcast to the world. And here he is. Let me make sure we're all framed in. Yes, we're live right now, Mike. Let me just make sure we're doing this as best as we can. As you can see, it's a bit of a... Yes, here we are. Okay, Mike, come a little closer. It's great to see you in person, by the way.
Thank you so much.
Mike coming with a cameraman. Yes, as you can see, we have a lot of booby traps here, so just don't break our setup, cameraman. Okay, look at us, Mike. Look at us. We're live right here. Well,
shout out to Helwani, man.
We're making it happen.
Here back with Drake in the studio, baby. Let's go.
So good to see you. I haven't seen you in a long time.
Not in person.
Yeah. By the way, you have to talk into the microphone.
No, you be at some of the fights?
Yeah, but I don't think I've had a face-to-face interview with you in a while.
No, we
Can I give you a compliment right off the bat?
Be great.
Honestly, I've talked about this on the show today and Monday. I'm Jewish. and what's happening in Israel is very hard to process. And I never in a million years, and I hope you take this as a compliment, never thought that Mike Perry would kind of be the voice of reason on social media. But your tweets have been actually very thoughtful and heartfelt. No, honestly, this is not a joke. I keep seeing them, and I wanted to text you this yesterday when we were texting, but I was like, I want to say it on the air. Thank you for everything that you're saying and tweeting, and not coming at it from an emotional place, or, I feel the love and support. I don't know if you're intending to do that, but I appreciate it, and I think a lot of people do as well.
Thank you, man. I just, I'm a family man, so I see this horrible stuff happening on both sides, and it's like no one wants to go through that. I just want peace for everyone, and people to live happy, joy-filled lives.
Mike Perry wanting peace. A couple of years ago, you were looking for a fight. I remember you on the cage there in Poland going like this.
War is different than a game.
Yeah, I know.
I play a game.
Right.
It's the fight game.
It is the fight game.
War is a different beast. You see what they, who knows? The media, who knows what's true, who knows what's not. I'm sure there are some sick things happening. What living in parvish countries and like poor, does to people. It makes them crazy, and it's just some of the things you hear is like, it's terrifying, and you don't want that for anyone's children. They're innocent in all of this, and they're suffering. So, man, God bless them.
Well said. When did you get here?
We got here this morning, maybe like 6 to 8 hours ago.
Are you jet lagged?
A little bit, but I'm really just adjusting to the time.
Okay.
And we went to the open workouts.
I saw you kind of crashed it, right?
A little bit crashed.
So tell me about. And by the way, shout out to you. You're rocking the Burberry. Is that like to show love to the UK? It's a very UK-esque brand. It's very thoughtful.
Yes.
I like that. It's very. I mean, you look like a dad right now with the fanny pack. The Burberry is fantastic. You are a dad, so you should look like a dad.
Oh, man.
So why were you not scheduled? I was at the open workout and I was looking. You weren't. I didn't see you. So why did you crash it?
Were you there late? No, you couldn't have been because you had the show to do.
I was there for like the first hour.
Okay.
So when you came, I was just leaving.
So at 3 o'clock, I got there.
Yeah.
Maybe a little after 3. That was when I was told it was starting.
Yeah. Apparently it started earlier.
Okay. And then now the main events in them are finally there doing it and doing their open workouts. Dylan Dennis was doing WWE. Someone showed me a video. He was like, that was his warm up.
Okay.
He had no shoes on. He wasn't boxing. I thought he had Kevin Randleman. It was that other UFC fighter with blonde hair.
Okay. Kim Randleman no longer with us.
Right. It's not Kevin Randleman.
Okay, it's not. Okay.
But I was like, man, that guy looks like Kevin Randleman. Gotcha. It's that 185er.
185er with blonde hair?
Yeah.
Derek Brunson?
No. He came and trained at Fusion XL when I did that Proper 12 video where we were drinking and stuff, and I asked him if he could do a shot, if he wanted one, and he was like, no, I don't know if he made the cut of the video. You knew his name?
Phil Hawes. Yes.
So he was working out with Dylan Dennis.
Okay.
They were doing WWE stuff, and they didn't have a slot for me, a time slot to get the workout.
That's kind of messed up.
I did a bunch of the media came over and talked to me. I talked to a bunch of them. I'm here for it. I'm here for every part of it. I want to fight, might fight in the crowd. Maybe Darren Till will be here. Maybe we could settle some of that.
Okay.
And then still fight for some money. Who knows? But I saw Anthony Taylor who talked trash on Twitter. He did not have any trash to talk.
What did he say? I missed that.
It was very friendly.
What did he say on Twitter?
He was trying to make a fight. He wants to fight me. He did say that later. I started trying to box him. I didn't even realize he was on the card. They didn't promote anything but the top 2 fights.
Right.
And it was chill. It was, good to meet him. And if he wants to fight, maybe we can make it happen. If he earns it, I think I'm a little above that right now. And especially with me being BKFC, a lot of people don't want to do it. Darren Till even said he doesn't want to bare knuckle fight me. He wants to put the gloves on. So they talked about the Misfits tournament, possibilities, ideas here and there, but my money is guaranteed. And it's in bare knuckle. I like to shine there. And then we just got to work out in ourselves. We just started down on the floor, and I started working with my coach and hitting mitts bare knuckle. I'm the Mr. Bare Knuckle, so I just decided I didn't bring any gloves because if I fight on Saturday, they're going to give me a pair. I packed my bags pretty good, so I didn't have any room, and I didn't want to bring my stinky old gloves. I needed a new pair of boxing gloves anyways. I got to get some good ones.
Yeah.
So we just hit some mitts bare knuckle.
And I saw you have the new fits. I saw you
my modeling.
Your new fits are fantastic.
Yeah, I got to get better at those modeling videos.
I saw some people giving you crap. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I thought they all looked good. People are just being haters.
Some of it, I said some of these outfits are subject to change.
No, they were nice
for sure.
I thought you did a good job. The posing,
the walk,
and everything. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Are you surprised? It's October 11th. Fight night is October 14th. Are you surprised Dylan is still in the fight? Are you surprised he's here? Like if I would have asked you 2 months ago, at this point, would you have thought, all right, I'm in?
Well, he keeps messing around. I'm out, and I knew he was saying that. So when I said I'm in, I wasn't lying because I had just signed my BKFC fight contract. That's looking like December 2nd. Might be Salt Lake City, Utah. They told me that I could say Dallas, Texas, and then they just switched it up on me. They made me look like a fool.
I know
how that goes.
No, I never look like a fool. But I now there was a name that there was a name that
I
know there was a name that I missed. Now you remember you were like, oh, you're surprised, you don't know, oh, you know the name, you can't believe you didn't guess it. Now it was a different weight class. I wasn't thinking 170. I wasn't thinking where you're fighting these days. That's a great fight.
That's another thing too. I fought Luke at 185, and now Logan, I think I'm weighing in at 195. Who knows if they didn't lie to me and that's supposed to be 185 or 190, and I'm gonna weigh in at 195 on Friday just to get a little check to be here. Which I found out, it sounded good, like, oh, I'm gonna get a check to just weigh in and be ready to fight, right? And all of the preparation that I put into this was as if I was fighting. Mentally, I told myself, I'm going to fight. I'm going to be the one fighting so that I would be ready mentally.
Yeah.
And I'm still thinking that way because they told me up to the point where if he walks in the ring, answers the bell, and gets out to say, I was here, you got to pay me.
Wow.
I made the bell because fighters have done that.
Yeah.
There was a heavyweight did that.
Yeah.
So if and it's been so trolly, maybe he would do something like that, right? I would still get in and fight.
Wow.
And props to Logan for that.
Would he agree to that, do you think, at that point?
What's that?
At that point, you think he would agree to it?
Logan?
Yeah.
I think it's in paper.
Wow.
I think it's in the paperwork. So
are you going to be in the back warming up? And then I got to go back
down to 175 for December.
Right. But are you going to be in the back warming up for
a situation? Right? But they didn't even have a spot for me to do the warm-up. So I stole my own warm-up. And then we did like 15 minutes. And I think they came over and they were like, oh, if we could find you some gloves, would you want to get in there? And I think they were just trying to get me to stop because I was kind of taking the show a little bit.
Do you think it's awkward for them because ultimately they want the people to think that and feel that Dylan is fighting, but you're here as the presence that maybe he's not fighting, right? You're kind of like the cloud hanging over the fight.
But that's part of the tactics. So the lawsuit, the talking about the girlfriend between Dylan and Logan, those are two tactics. Bringing me a tactic. And, the Paul brothers keep doing this with me. But this one is going to give me something for my efforts, which that's what I was saying, all the preparation and everything. It's like the little check is like, man, when I do fight, all the preparation that I put into this one, but I actually get the big check and I fight like I meant it. I fight for that check. This time it's like I put all the hard work. My team is here. I have to pay these people. They're taking time away from their families. We take a risk just flying in.
Yeah.
And, it's already gone. Everything that I will get for even being here but
you break even?
But it's an opportunity.
Yeah.
A little bit of a break even.
Okay.
Kinda. So it feels like it's less, it feels like, I could get even more for doing something like this. And this is the second time they've used my name, so they're gonna have to fight me now.
Did you get paid the first time?
Paul?
Yeah.
Or I mean Jake?
Yeah.
No, he didn't do it this way.
Right.
Logan at least did it business ethically. So, but they're gonna have to fight me at some point. So Logan goes out there and wins. I'm his next fight. And
is that been told to you?
No, it should be though.
Which one do you?
I'm saying it now on the MMA Hour.
Respect. Which one do you prefer? Like, who gets you more excited, Jake or Logan?
I beat them both.
But is there like a challenge?
It depends. How does Logan look on Saturday?
Yeah, that's the big question.
How does Dylan look?
Right.
If he gets in, if he fights. They both seem very confident. I haven't seen much. You don't see sparring footage of these guys.
No.
You've seen a little bit of Dylan, but he's like punching the body, and it looks pretty bad.
And I feel like he's like trolling us, no? He's like doing the thing.
Why
with
was he
Alex.
Trying to put his fingers in your butt?
That was weird, bro.
What was he doing?
I don't know. He's weird. I don't know. I think he has a thing for me.
But everything he's done has been super smart.
It's worked out. Are you surprised that
even the WWE wrestling at the open workouts? I saw a video. I'm like, that's really smart. But it's not boxing.
No, but he's just trying to do.
So I'm confused because Luke was doing the same thing to me when we fought. He kept grabbing me. He kept faking kicks. I'm like, dude, it's boxing. I'm gonna hit you with my hands, and he froze in the fight at one point. Like, he hit me with a shot, and then he like thought about other things. In my opinion.
Are you surprised that people seem to back Dylan more than Logan? I don't think anyone predicted it would go down like this, right? I think everyone thought like Logan was going to be the.
I am surprised to hear how much support Dylan has after everything he's saying, but on one side it's like his girl is out there, like those were all public videos and things like that, so people are like mad about the lawsuit. It's just a tactic to get in his head. So there's all these tactics that are promoting the fight from both sides,
right?
And but people have been following Logan for a long time, and a lot of people disagree with a lot of things that he has done or said, or they talk about the forest thing in Japan or whatever, and say that, I don't know. I mean, a lot of people seem to side with oh my gosh, I don't even want to compare, but it doesn't make sense, the sides that they pick, the reasons, like Roger Mayweather says, most people don't know shit about boxing. So this is just a spectacle. This is a semi-pro celebrity boxing match. The skill that's going to be out there, I think, is going to be horrendous.
Do you feel like you're above this?
No, I'm here.
Right.
But in my opinion, I see it like this. If I have the opportunity to step in the ring, it is to show the difference of what I'm capable of, and what I like the word green. Green is like new, fresh, like fresh meat. You're fresh meat, bro. I'm a carnivore, and I'm gonna tear you apart raw. Like I know you don't like your steaks like that.
Yeah.
Bloody.
Yeah, I like medium. I've come to terms with medium.
Oh,
is that okay?
It's much better.
Medium well is okay, or too much?
Too much.
I just don't understand the blood. Like, I don't need the blood in my life.
Good quality medium rare.
Is it really blood?
No, man, it's flavored juice.
By the way, are we stressed for time? Are we good? Or
no, I'm good, man.
This is great. Mams Taylor going to join us. Maybe we can ask him some questions as well. He's coming into the studio.
Okay,
the kitchenette studio that we've got here. I saw something on Twitter, a debate going on. Brendan Schaub weighed in, the great Brendan Schaub, one of the great minds in the history of combat television. Chael Sonnen weighed in. He said there's a line. In the game of fight promotion, there's no suing involved, and some people, there's a debate: is it Logan behind the? I think ultimately it's his fiance's name on it, but they say that's a line. Like, there's some people who say Dylan crossed the line, but then there's some people saying the Pauls crossed the line.
Well, some of his money might be touching those lawyers.
Okay, so do you think that is going too far? You can't do that. You sign up to fight Dylan Dennis, you got to accept it all, no lawsuits.
No, dude, if we sign up to fight and you do something, I'm going to try to put you in jail. You're out of the fight. I'm going to fight Mike Perry instead. Let's do that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get him arrested this week, and I'll fight Logan.
But do you think that it was like a non-fighter move for Logan and his fiance to do that? That's what people are saying. You're breaking the rule of the Fight Club. All that BS. Is it BS?
The first rule of the Fight Club is there are no rules in Fight Club.
That's true. That's true.
That's the first rule. See, most people don't know shit about fighting.
Right. Well, this is coming from fighters, by the way, not me.
Who, Chael's on it?
Chael, Brendan said that.
Chael's not a fighter anymore. Brendan's not a fighter anymore.
But they were fighters.
But they haven't been for a long time now.
Okay. All right. Okay.
They are on the other side of the business. Now they are all business. And Chael and Brendan are both very good at saying whatever is going to piss off a certain crowd and make them pay attention and comment and be like, what the heck? What are you talking about? And they got me. First rule of Fight Club, there's no rules.
Mm-hmm.
So, Chael gets my attention sometimes, man. He's good.
You don't like some of the stuff?
No, I like it.
You're just paying attention.
I like it. I watch it. He gets on my nerves sometimes. I'm like, you're just saying that just because you know that it's BS. Oh, it gets me.
He does that a lot. He tends to side with the promotion a lot. But God bless him. I love him. He's one of my best friends.
He's
always
a legend.
He's always defending the promotion.
He's great with his words, too.
Yeah. Okay, so speaking of which, being on the other side, you say you're not on the other side, but you kind of are these days. I mean, I see the logo here. We just gave a shout out to the Overdogs podcast, who were the first to break the news that Alex Volkanovski was replacing
yes, sir.
Charles Oliveira against Islam Makhachev. How did they break this news?
Money talks.
Okay.
Money talks.
What you should say. Can I tell you what you should say in this scenario? A real journalistic outfit like the Overdogs podcast, you never reveal your sources. You should know that, Ariel. Why would you ask me such a question? That should be the response.
I mean,
because I saw you say there's a new game in town as far as breaking news is concerned.
Yeah.
But you don't need to reveal your sources. Good on you guys.
I've been at this for a long time. I've been working for this attention and this these credentials to get news like that first before others. I know it's about.
Did you get it first? Did you relay it to them?
No.
Okay, because then I would have said first reported by Platinum Perry.
My people that I'm close to, you just want to be in the right small circle.
Yeah.
And I work to get into this circle, and I get the pleasure to be the co-host of that Overdogs podcast, and we've been doing good things, big episodes, big names, and they're going bigger, and people see the attention it's getting, and I'm still fighting though, right? And we're looking to drop. I don't like to say drop. I like to say up.
Okay.
We're going up. We're gonna launch.
Okay.
Platinum fighting championships.
Really?
The PFC, if you will, or I think we're gonna call it something else. But
you're gonna start your own.
We're
promotion.
close to this, and we're trying to battle against others like Anthony Pettis. Maybe
that's another FRM guy.
So, for example,
Jorge Masvidal.
For example, how the WBO, WBC, we were talking with Anthony Pettis, and he's a very intelligent guy who knows the game in and out, and his league is already taking off, and we're very close to launching. I don't know how close, but it's a thing.
Okay.
And he was talking about how two belts would come together with a third promoter that would bring them together and I don't know if they would make a new belt or they would collab or whatever. But possibly once we get some traction, what if me and Anthony Pettis brought our leagues together to fight one another?
That's fun.
For an all-out belt or whatever you want to do. I just have dreams and ideas, and I want to fight. I'm still very young in the fight game. So, and I got big people around me that can make dreams come true, that want to make my dreams come true. And I've come full circle in the fight game to where I want to be professional. I want to stay on the right path and not fall off the path. Stay on that line and just keep shooting up.
So you want to be a promoter?
I want to take fighting as far as I can. It's never going to leave me. I'm always going to be a fighter, even if it's someone making other fights happen, you know. And I still plan to fight while promoting and help grow my own organization by fighting in it. And, you know, sky's the limit.
Okay, and this would be MMA?
There's going to be some mixed rules.
Okay.
So, you know, like a mix of like, you know, obviously stand-up striking. It could be, you know, Muay Thai or, and I'm not allowed to release too much.
I don't want to get you in trouble.
Yeah, I can't say too much.
You said too much.
I can't say too much.
Fair enough. But that's really interesting because we're seeing more and more fighters do this now. And I think that's appealing to other fighters coming up because I think they feel like they can trust you more than, say, a promoter. Oh.
And we're looking to help these guys.
Yeah,
you know,
like what Jorge's doing.
Get these guys paid.
Yeah.
And, you know, not let the just monopoly of the UFC just control everything. And we'll be a force. And we'll pay our fighters, and we're going to have one of the most exciting styles of fighting.
A completely different style.
It's just going to be complete action, the way like a BKFC fight is,
right,
but with more.
So it's like a whole different sport.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
I actually have names for it, but I just can't drop it.
Who would have thought, right? Mike Perry, like 5-6 years ago, be in this position to do something like that, to launch something like that, to be sought after for an event like this. You thought?
I thought.
Really? But let's be honest, a lot of people didn't, right?
Most people don't know shit about fighting.
That's true. But did you feel like for a period there, I feel like you get the respect now, but people thought that you were just sort of like, some like, you know, barroom brawler. You didn't have a brain. You couldn't think. You weren't a businessman. Did you feel like people didn't respect you like that? Because now you're proving to be a businessman. BKFC deal. Misfits deal, deal.
Well, there's many forms of business.
Mm-hmm.
There's the guys behind the closed doors doing the paperwork. There's the guys on the front lines to be seen and to be the face of. There's you know, and both sides get to make decisions, important decisions. You know, like I'm good in the eye. I'm good to be seen. I'm good to be heard from. Whether it's something crazy I'm saying or something focused and like, you know, just to build, just good, you know. So I do okay on social media. People watch my stuff.
People like you.
I can make all types of shit, either modeling, cooking, and boxing, you know, and we're getting better every day at
modeling,
all of it.
Huh?
You know, I did that modeling video.
No, I know. I didn't know if it was like there was an official thing that you were going to be doing, like runway.
I mean, I am a Ken Pie Pandas model.
You are, yeah. I like the brand, by the way. I like the logo. Where'd these guys come from? I feel like in the last 6 months. Okay. What's that look? In the last 6 months, I see them everywhere.
There's certain people that have, you know, we'll say Ice Bags. That's his name.
Okay.
And he's a great guy.
The owner?
Family man.
Okay.
Yes. He has many businesses that he's got his foot in, and, you know, it's his business. I can't really say too much, but
you're a sponsored athlete.
He's been in the fight game, or, you know, a fan of the fight game, wanted more from the fight game, wanted in the fight game deeper, and he uses his resources as a very powerful man to make his way, and he's been climbing for quite some time. I mean, he's been around Roy Jones for I don't know how many years, and even to the point where he had a fight event thrown in Dubai, and he fought on it, and he had never fought before, and he's always just wanted to just dive into it and try it out, and to promote from it, to be involved in it, and he's a force to be reckoned with the media, with all of it. And I'm glad they see the potential that with me where we could possibly go.
Do you still have a relationship with John Jones? Do you ever talk to him?
I might have sent a message, and I'm sure he's seen it. And, you know, John teaches me a lot without even, you know, without responding to me. I'm a guy, you know, like.
What, he leaves you unseen?
I think he has.
Does that bother you? That would bother me. No?
No, because that's all the answer I need.
What are you writing when he's leaving you unseen?
Man, I think when I was in Vegas, I think he was out there or something. There was like a video of him taking a shot with somebody, and I think I invited him to my wedding. I don't think he saw that, though. I think I unsent it like later that night, but I had invited him. I don't know if he saw that one.
Were you hurt that he?
It would have been weird, anyways.
Why?
It would have been
because
it was a small thing. It was a small.
Why did you feel compelled to invite him? Just because you saw he was in town, or?
Cause man, I love John. Man, I look up to him a lot. He's the greatest fighter. That's all I've ever really wanted to be. You know, and he doesn't have to write me back, because one of my biggest wishes is that I wish I could beat him up, you know, because then I would be the greatest ever. And that's just me dreaming, as I'm still a kid sometimes. And, you know, I met my girl because of him.
Oh, really?
My wife, yeah.
He introduced you?
I walked into this club to hang out with John, and there she was.
Wow.
And as soon as I walked in, he saw me.
Wow.
Brought us together, and I picked her up, and that was it. I left.
Serious? Like you physically picked her up?
Yeah, I picked her up and gave her a hug. She had a leopard skirt on. I remember when she was wearing.
You didn't talk?
No, we talked. I was like, oh my God, like, damn, let me get you something to drink, or what's your name, blah, blah, blah. Like, I got her like a cranberry vodka, and then I had a drink, and then I was like, you want to get out of here?
And that was it. You've been together ever since. You just did you just celebrate an anniversary, or was it her birthday? I saw you paying homage to her.
Her birthday.
Her birthday. Happy birthday.
October 8th.
Oh, just a few days ago.
Yep.
2 kids now.
Yep. She turned 21 again.
21 again. Okay. Are we gonna go for 3, or are we done at 2?
We're done with 2. We got a boy and a girl.
You're good.
They're beautiful, lovely.
Healthy.
Love them. Healthy, super healthy.
Yeah, that's most important.
Yeah, super healthy. Smart, kind of. Weird. I mean, they're dumb.
How old is the oldest?
My son is he's 2 and 8 months.
What does he have a nickname?
He's Ocean.
Ocean. Is that his real name?
That's his name.
Ocean. What's your daughter's name?
Odyssey.
Wow. Any particular reason why those names?
So, I think the ocean is very powerful and strong, and it's always scared me. Like, you know, I'm not swimming in the deep ocean because I don't want to get eaten by a shark or anything. And my dad was in the Navy, and I always like kind of looked up to him for that, because I watched the movie Medal of Honor or Men of Honor. Men of Honor.
Medal of Honor, I think, is a game, no?
Medal of Honor, yeah, maybe. But Men of Honor is with what's that guy's name?
Charlie Sheen. No,
not Charlie Sheen. It's like Robert De Niro or something.
Robert De Niro. Yeah, that's right. Man of Honor.
He's like,
it's vaguely.
I know this guy out here in England. He replays those parts so well. His name is Jimmy Justice. Shout out Jimmy Justice, man. He'll do the Robert De Niro parts for Men of Honor.
Oh wow! Like impersonating him?
Yeah, he'll replay the parts. It's pretty funny. You know, got to get on my acting.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you'd be fantastic. So, okay, Ocean, and then why Odyssey?
Odyssey, so because she has the audacity, and maybe she'll have the audio, because I spell it A-U.
Oh, really?
Yes, because Ocean is a O, and which could be like, you know, 0, which means before 1.
Right.
Or, and I wanted my daughter to have the first letter of the alphabet, the A, just because, you know, the number one, and I don't know. I think about stuff that doesn't really matter, but it matters to me.
And you get to pick the names? Or was it a collaborative affair?
Yeah, we talked about it.
Okay.
We talked about it. So, the wife got the, you know, she liked Odyssey and the Audacity joke, and she got to pick the middle name, which is Rain. Odyssey, Rain, like REIGN.
Yeah, yeah.
Shout out to my kids, man. They're so annoying. They're so annoying, dude. My dog, Platinum, he's so annoying.
What, you have a dog named Platinum?
Big German Shepherd. Yeah.
Wow.
He was our firstborn.
Wow. How's he with the kids?
He's the sweetest dog, but he does, like, I want him to have friends and stuff, but, like, anybody who comes over, you know, he's a big dog. He gives hugs, which he
terrifying.
Puts his paws on you.
Yeah.
Wouldn't bite anything. Wouldn't hurt a fly. But he's just he's just big and obnoxious, and like you know, if he meets another dog and stuff, like in my neighborhood, I want it to happen. He's really smart, and he's always off leash and stuff, like out in the front yard with me, but he gives people these hugs, and I'm talking like, you know, 70-year-old people in my neighborhood. He might knock an old lady down. I can't have that.
You can't have that lawsuit and everything.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But do you take your kids to school?
No, dude. He's 2 and
2.5. They don't go to like a nursery or something?
No, man. We just
not yet. Or
teach them at home.
Homeschool?
A little bit, but you know, in the world has changed a little bit.
Yeah.
With COVID and stuff. But I want them to go to public school, and I want them to ride the school bus. And
I would love to see you like in a parent-teacher conference, you know?
For sure.
It'd be great.
Like, what are y'all teaching my kids? Take them rainbow flags down, man.
Okay, all right.
Put the American flag up there.
I want to ask you about Darren Till, because I saw that he was on the show and you guys had a back and forth. I feel like you guys are just like, now we're getting like, you're teasing us. This is like
no, we want to fight.
Enough already. How many years we
want to fight?
Why can't you guys figure this out? Why can't we fight? Why can't we
I
get
think
you guys
we both
in a ring
had to,
or a surface of some kind?
We both had to grow into, like, mentally what we knew that we wanted to be the best fighter versions of ourselves. We had to go through these trials and tribulations, and you know, I was pretty green in the UFC,
right?
And all I did was just fight. I had no game plan. I just fought. And for MMA, I had no plan on how to beat certain styles and things like that. I just thought people would meet me in the middle and we could just bang it out. That's just not how it is. And it works better for me in boxing. He doesn't want to bare knuckle box me. He gives me my credit there.
Okay. That's a dub, as they say.
So, you know, and we just want to fight because I want to punch him for things he said in the past, but he has grown up a lot, as well as I have.
That still bothers you?
The raw dog.
Mm.
You know?
Was that your stomach? You're not cutting weight. It's just like your clock is all messed up.
A little bit. Yeah, I tried to have some fish and chips earlier.
How was that?
Chicken Caesar salad. The little chicken bites on it were really good.
Yeah, we had English breakfast this morning.
The fish and chips wasn't
fried.
It was, yeah, it wasn't. I'm in the healthy food right now. Yeah. I've been eating lots of healthy chicken.
Grilled chicken.
I've been enjoying that. So the fish just, you know, I'm like, where are they fishing this fish from?
Right.
This brown water.
Yeah.
I don't want this fish, dude.
And French fries are horrible for you. You're eating French fries, right?
Chips, I don't even think I ate one.
Oh, okay.
I ate mostly the salad, the chicken salad. Was my wife's.
Oh, your wife's here too?
She's right out there.
She's in the room?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that. I was hearing some people over there, but I wasn't sure if it was like next door or actually.
And my coach as well.
Oh,
He's
wow.
in there. We all
here
walked
I am
over
talking
here
about
together.
your wife and she's right over there.
Huh.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Come on in here.
So, okay, can you tell, is Darren Till going to happen? Is it going to happen in 2024?
They said, yeah, I'm thinking.
Yeah? It has to happen.
They're working on it.
Is he on steroids?
I know a lot of people behind the scenes are working. We want to make this fight happen because, well, I'm locked in with BKFC. He doesn't want to do that.
Do it here, Misfits.
Maybe my own promotion possibilities.
Misfits?
Misfits is talking about it. They also want this tournament.
Heard about that.
This MVP thing.
Yeah. I don't think it's MVP. MVP's the other guy.
He'll be on the other side of the tournament, right? So
Interesting.
he would box me again. Interesting. 3 fights, 1 night, 3 minute.
Okay.
3-minute rounds each fight, and then the main event is the end of the tournament. The final of the tournament would be like rounds 7, 8, and 9.
You're very long nails, by the way.
Yeah.
Are we gonna cut those before the fight? What's going on?
Man, because with boxing gloves. So for bare knuckle, I'll cut them.
Yeah, okay.
But I also keep them for like self-defense.
Oh, you do that on purpose?
Like I would scratch the fuck out of somebody if they tried to fight me in the street, dude. I'll claw your fucking eyes out. And like Darren Till, right? I would, if a street fight Darren Till, I would claw the fuck out of him.
Do you hate him?
Yes.
Why?
Because his raw dog comments. Logan Paul and Dylan Dennis. Logan's gotta hate Dylan and the shit.
When what do you refer to?
But like my wife doesn't have.
Oh, he said that about your wife.
Yeah, he said something about raw dog and my bird, my new bird or whatever, and I want to fucking scratch his eyes out.
And that's probably been several years ago now, right? Because when you say new bird, like you guys have been together for a while now.
Yeah,
and that was over the line.
Ago, and I don't let grudges die, like Drake said.
Yeah, for real. Do you like the new album? Did you hear it?
Virginia Beach.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
It's okay.
No, I fuck with it. Drake's hilarious too.
He's the man. I love him.
So
I mean, some people say that we're sort of like that we look alike. I don't know if you agree. He's Canadian Jewish.
That's what I said, bro.
Yeah.
In the studio.
But like the earlier stuff to me is still nothing is comparing.
You got to grow the hair out, get the braids.
Yeah.
The cornrow.
I need to maybe work out.
For Halloween, you could be Drake. You get the wig with the braids.
Someone today came up to me and said, "You looked at like that UFC guy." I was like, no, I get that and Drake. He didn't do he wasn't. I was like, what's that UFC guy's name? And he's like, what's his name? Oriel. And then this was good. I was like, is he a good guy? Do you like him? He's like, yeah, he's good. He's good. So then I told him it was me. That was fun. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, man. I'd be like, no, who?
I
got someone the other day, but I actually try not to do that because I'm like proud of myself.
No, I was just messing around. Like, yeah, but also like you're. I mean, you're one of one. You're a walking NFT.
Yeah, I don't get how they fucking recognize me everywhere, but they do. I don't ever recognize anybody, dude.
I mean,
and then if I do, there's someone famous. I cannot get their name. I'm just like, oh, you're that guy, that one guy. Oh my God, we saw DeMar earlier.
Oh, Chase.
He's on the card.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we're talking about like, damn, what's he from? My girl was like, I think he's on Too Hot to Handle or something.
Yes.
And she's like, oh, it's that thing with the bug. The dude had the bug flying on his forehead. And I was like, oh, yeah. And you know what I'm talking about?
No, I know. I know he was on Too Hot to Handle.
He was like talking on Too Hot to Handle and like a cockroach comes flying in and lands on his forehead.
I didn't know that. You watch that show?
You gotta look at the video.
Okay.
No, just clips on Instagram, right? And then his fight.
Yeah.
Where he's like.
Yeah.
Throwing punches. Oh man, it's pretty funny.
Someone on the card, by the way, got arrested today.
Dylan?
No. Sorry. Ryan Taylor. He's fighting a guy named Swarms. It's this whole new world, but they have a big rematch.
Anthony Taylor?
No, but I thought maybe they'd call you up, but I don't think it's your weight class. If you're at 190 something, these guys are smaller.
He's probably small.
Yeah, but crazy got arrested. Yeah, but I mean, if you want a payday.
Absolutely.
Do you think you'll fight on Saturday? In your heart of hearts, are you fighting on Saturday?
Yes.
You believe that?
Somebody.
And if you don't get an official fight, you're fighting in the crowd?
Yes.
Okay.
If they even let me in the crowd.
You don't think
I might be in the back.
Oh, okay.
Right? I might be having to get ready.
Right.
Just in case Dylan gets out of the ring. But who knows, though? Because they're like, oh, they don't know what the fuck's going on. They don't have me on the open workouts. Right. So it's like,
you should go to
am I going to even get tickets? We talked about that today. Yeah. They're like, and I talked to my manager and Primo coming in tomorrow. So it's like, yeah, I'll probably go crash the press conference.
Yeah, make a scene.
Do something, yeah.
Hopefully no one heard me say that.
Fight tomorrow, but
No, not tomorrow. No fighting. Just like make your
Every
presence
day.
felt. Just like you were at the other press conference.
Yeah.
If shit gets crazy and people are throwing cakes at each other, like you step in. Voice of reason. Platinum Perry. Who would have thought?
Cakes the day before weigh-in day.
Yeah. Well, this has been nice.
That's been great,
This
man.
has been great. I really appreciate you making the trek here. I thought it was bothering you, but you were down. You were down for the cause. Because we're not staying in the same hotel.
Because I'm here for it.
I know. I mean, you might as well soak it all in. But you've done such a great... Like, you are the poster boy for what life could be like outside of the UFC. It's not a death sentence. If you do things the right way...
Much better.
How much more do you think you're making now than you were in the UFC? Like, times 3, times 4, times 5, times 6?
Times 20.
For real?
Yeah.
Wow. Is there a part of you that wishes you would have gone out earlier? Or are you at peace with how it all played out?
I was, I learned in there. I got in some tough battles, some fun times, some ups and downs. Learned a lot about haters. Learned a lot about haters controlling things that, you have to do. Like there's haters that work for the UFC that you see every time you go to an event. And, as a fighter, you're like, you want to think you're special, or, you just have to create that for yourself and actually be special and not give a fuck about what any of these people have to say. And, like, when you're hot, they're on your ass. Like, they're on your nuts. And when you're struggling, no one gives a fuck about you. When you can't figure it out, they don't want nothing to do with you. And then they'll throw curveballs.
Can I ask you a question? Are you talking about the matchmakers?
No.
Okay. You don't want to name names.
Just there's so many people that work for the UFC.
Sure, I just didn't know if it was like someone that was like intimately
random faces.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
It's like, and really you're just a fucking test subject. If you're in there, you're a test subject.
Right.
Outside of it, you're, being in it, because everyone, I don't know, like being in there fighting 15 times in the short amount of time that I did, obviously it benefited me a lot. So it made people want to get me when I got out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I got to meet good people, because we can all benefit each other. And not everybody goes in. First of all, in 5, some people have been in twice as long as me, don't have as many fights as I do. You can be in there and have the fights and not get the followers that I got. People liked me maybe because I'm genuine. I just, heart on my sleeve. I just go through it. And I try to put a lot of it on camera. I try to keep a lot of it off, because I think a lot of it's stupid, or it's a mess, fuck up on my part, or, just trying to be better and show what's good. Like, I also did show a lot of the things that weren't great, like some training videos. I'm not just showing you my best moments. I'm showing you the issues that I have that I need to fix. So people generated towards that, and now I'm leveling up. Now I don't know, man. I learned. I was young and green, and now I still feel young at 32 in the fight game. This is kind of young and I'm like reaching my prime. I'm still not there yet. I'm still going up.
Apropos, and you're on the prime card, potentially. How about that?
Nice.
That is
nice. That's good.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. By the way, you've not asked me to be on your show, but if you need you guys haven't reached out.
I'll talk to those guys.
No, listen.
They pick the people to be on the show. You're welcome.
Maybe
to
they're
be
haters.
on the show. You're the best.
Maybe they're haters.
I mean, shit, I got probably most of my fans from talking with you.
We've had some good chats. The first time I talked to you, you wouldn't come on the video, but you were like walking outside. You were going to the bank, and you were explaining why your nickname's Platinum. Remember? And you were talking about like.
I think I was like outside of like an NA meeting that I had to do.
What is NA?
Narcotics Anonymous.
Oh wow, okay.
Like AA.
Yeah, yeah.
NA.
Oh wow, yeah. Because you were outside somewhere.
I was
you were like
on probation or some shit still, and I had
this was right after your debut.
$10,000 in my pocket.
Like legit, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
My whole check was like $10,000. I fucking cashed that shit. I wanted all of it,
and you just wanted to feel it.
I haven't done it yet with 100,000. I kind of want to do it, but I've worn $100,000 in jewelry or more.
That's crazy.
So, I wear it on me like. Actually, my wedding ring's in the other room, but that's like 60,000. That's a fight of the night bonus. Don't try to steal it from me because I got it insured.
Okay.
This is a cheap Hublot, but I brought it because it's a boxing match, and boxing and Hublot. Floyd Mayweather got me on the Hublot, and he's the best boxer. Speaking of which, Floyd and T-Bud, talking shit.
They were? Oh, I thought you were going to say something else.
Floyd and T-Bud talking shit.
Really?
Yes, about fighting.
That's not gonna happen. That's just for.
That would be amazing.
Floyd would never do that.
I think T-Bud beats him up.
Of course, especially Floyd's almost 50, if not 50.
But he's so good with a training camp and a game plan.
No, but Floyd's doing great things for Israel too. You saw that, sending his jet.
Yep, I saw. It's just so. I want to be the line, you know?
Yeah.
I don't want to pick a side. I don't know. I have no understanding. I can't pick a side.
Can I tell you?
Because
there is no side to pick.
media is lying.
There's no side to pick. There's no side to pick. There's civilians and there's terrorists. That's the side. That's the debate. The debate isn't Israel versus Palestine.
And the terrorists could be. I mean, it's government. There's civilians.
No one's debating Israel versus Palestine. It's Israel versus Hamas. That's the difference. Hamas are terrorists.
But Palestine
people that
government.
Yeah, unfortunately, they were brought into power. That's a big problem. A problem that not enough people talk about. But when you have a terrorist organization,
how did the Hamas infiltrate the most
it's a crazy
impenetrable place on planet Earth?
It was a unprovoked sneak attack.
During a holiday, security forces should be stronger because no one's looking at their phone.
It was a huge issue. A devastating moment in our people's history, but we will overcome this like we always overcome. We've been here before.
Because we go full circle. We started with that.
I know.
And then we come back to it because it's happening.
And it's on my heart. It's very hard for me to be here. I'll be honest. It was hard for me to leave my family, and there's a lot of uncertainty in this world and a lot of mean people saying mean things. I feel like I need to stick up for my people too.
Media, social.
It's not media.
I know it's happening. I know it's happening.
Trust me. Social media is being used as propaganda, and
thanks
things are
to
being
God,
taken.
I don't see it live in action.
Good. That's better. Maybe you're following the right people.
I'm not ready for that. I couldn't do it.
No one wants to see that.
It's not for me.
Well, let's end on a good note. I hope you get what you want this Saturday. If you want me to put in a word with Mams, is he treating you well? Because he's going to come on here in a moment. Anything you want me to say to him? Are you happy?
Yes, I'm good. I'm very happy. It's just all patiently waiting.
Your time will come.
For my moment to shine.
Your time will come. You're not
kind of like at the press conference in London.
Yeah.
I was off to the side. They didn't call me up on stage. We were talking about, what do I do? Go up on stage, be a clown, and flip the tables? No. John Fury's going to handle that. He's not a clown. He earned it. He's the dad of the dad or whatever. So he can do that all he wants and make it be cool and tough. I can't do it, or I'm the clown running up on stage just trying to get attention. I sat off to the side like a professional. I waited my turn. They let me talk. And I told the people, hey, if you don't know me, just pay attention to my fights.
It is crazy to me that you just walk up in there. Like if this was an MMA crowd, everyone knows you, right? But it's a different audience here that you have to say to people if you don't know me. But they are going to know you. Just like we have.
I want them all. I need them all to look because I put everything into my fights. I need more eyes to watch. That's why I'm here. I'm doing all I can to make everything, to make the most out of this because this benefits my family. The more that watch, the more I can make, the more I can do. The more I can benefit and then give back.
We need more people like you. Mike, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much.
I wish you the best. Thank you for doing this. Platinum Mike Perry, everyone. How about this guy? Overdogs podcast, Kanpai. Is it Kanpai? Kenpai, whatever, tomato.
It means cheers in Japanese.
Does it?
Kenpai.
I actually like the logo.
If you type in Kenpai on your
Google,
iPhone, it shows you emojis for like clinking glasses
I like that.
together.
Maybe they want to sponsor me.
I think they do.
Okay, we'll talk.
I'll holler at Ice Bags.
We're just live right now, so you could just walk out. People are watching us.
Okay, all right.
It's just a very impromptu thing, yeah.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Everyone's loving you in the chat over here. Thank you for doing this, Mike. You're the man. Platinum Perry, everyone, in Manchester. We told you that he would be here, and now here he is. Thank you so much. Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming. Much respect. I hope you made yourself comfortable. All good. Just be careful with the camera over there. That's our lifeline to the world. A great chat with Platinum Perry. It's been a while since we had a chance to sit down and talk to him face to face. He did it. He made it happen. Thanks, guys. Do you want to show them where to go? He's going to walk you out. GC's going to walk you out, Mike. Much love. Good luck to you, all right?
Oh, hi.
Hey, guys. How are you? Oh, yeah. You know what? I need my...
Where are you going?
What time is it? I'm just going to get my coffee here. 1 second.
Oh, okay. A little coffee break?
Well, I mean, it's like we're live. We're live. Thanks, everyone who's joining us. Coming up is Mams Taylor. That was fun with Platinum, right?
I thought so. Well, Rick, what'd you think?
I don't think... Oh, sorry. The flag is coming down. My apologies.
I thought a very subdued Mike Perry. Seems very
that way, though,
calm
right?
And at ease.
Hasn't he been that way?
I think we kind of vacillate, right? Like when he's on at the same time as Luke Rockhold, he knows how to turn it up. But subdued Mike Perry this time.
In the short while I've seen him, yeah, definitely a lot more calculated, calm, pretty awesome.
Oh, there's a good shot of my tuchus there. I'm trying to fix everything.
That's the right response to what I said.
No, I'm looking at the stream. Sorry, my bad.
Hey, whatever.
This is fun. No, it was very poignant what you had to say. It was very poignant.
Just add into the conversation.
Yeah, no, it was very good. How's everything over there in Master Control? Everything good?
It is amazing. So much fun.
Has anything? I've been offline near quick, and we've got Mams Taylor, the co-founder of Misfits, coming up. Have things been happening?
Yes.
Because
some things.
Okay, tell me.
Some things have definitely happened.
Okay. Tell me. So
John Fury threw a water. Fury threw a water bottle at KSI. KSI appeared to like spit down from the balcony on at him. Dylan Dennis did some wrestling moves at the open workout. Logan Paul threw one punch and then did his own grappling. So it's been an odd situation going on over there.
Okay. This one guy, Ryan Taylor, got arrested, I see.
Couldn't tell you. That one hasn't hit my timeline yet. Don't know who that is.
I'm seeing Dylan here choked out Elle Brooke, but that's a joke, right?
No, she got choked out for real, like legit.
No way. She went out?
Yeah.
Like she went to sleep?
Yes, he choked her unconscious.
Are you messing with me right now?
No.
That's horrible. You can't do that.
I mean, we've seen it done 100 times.
Like, to a woman?
People love going to fighters and asking to get choked out. So yeah, she got choked out.
Holy smokes. Okay. So it's a good time to have Mams on.
Yeah. You can ask him about all the drama that's unfolding.
The full fight between KSI, John Fury, and Gregory Paul. Who's Gregory Paul? Oh wait, Gregory Paul is Logan's dad.
His dad.
Oh my! I'm watching this here. Okay, so
I think to call that a fight might be overstating it, but we'll see how you feel.
John Fury rages at KSI. Logan Paul's dad. Oh my God! It's a good thing I got out of there, huh? GC, crazy things are happening. Fights at the open workouts. Have you heard about this? You can join me right here. Why not? Are we framed up? Let me see. Wait. Oh, because you had to do that?
Yeah.
Wait, how could we not be? Oh, did you do it when he left?
Yeah. It was nice and smooth.
You know yourself.
It was nice.
Have a seat, GC. Have a seat. Guys, can I ask you a question just between us friends? Am I hiding the fact pretty well that I'm extremely tired and jet lagged, or is it obvious? Be honest with me.
I thought you might say hot.
I'm okay, but there are moments where I think I'm going to faint.
Look at that jersey or kit.
Yeah, how about this guy? I mean, that's an old school Man United jersey right there, right?
98 Beckham. 98 Beckham.
Let's see the back.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you buy this for the trip or you had it?
Oh, no, of course I bought it for the trip.
Oh, wow. Where'd you get it from? Classic Football Kits?
I wish I knew about them. I would have just gone shopping there.
Is it legit?
Oh, legit. This is legit as it gets.
Wow.
I mean, we're talking stitching and everything.
That is nice.
Gonna wear it to Old Trafford later this week.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna go on the tour.
I'll probably wear some City stuff this week as well. Don't think I'm sure.
Is this because of the documentary?
Yeah.
You got an honor?
So actually, if I'm going to be totally honest with everyone here, I was going to try and get a Christian Eriksen jersey.
Oh, yeah.
None of them could ship in time. This was a little bit
last minute. Where'd you get this from?
eBay. Really quick shipping.
Oh, it's used?
No. New with tags.
Really?
Yeah, you got to type in NWT when you do the old eBay.
Wow.
That means new old stock. No, I'm wrong.
What does that mean?
No, you are wrong. NWT new with tags. I said it beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're hiding it well, though. You got a second cup of coffee here?
Let's see. 26 minutes ago. Okay, so we did get an update from Phil.
Yeah.
Mams still to work out as things have been delayed. Okay. So he's going to join us. He's leaving in 10, but that's 30 minutes. So we've got some time.
Yeah.
Okay, we go back to the question. What about Mike? We got the whole team here with Mike, huh?
Oh, yeah, man. He rolls deep. Social back there.
Yeah, we had social back there.
It was cramped in here with 4 people.
So I was hearing some activity back there, and I wasn't sure if it was next door or here. And then when it became clear that they were here in the room, I was wondering where they were sitting. Did you happen to catch a glimpse? Were anyone
the chairs?
No bed? Any bed?
Yeah, no bed action.
Really?
They insisted chairs.
Oh, really?
Out of respect.
Wow, because I was worried about that.
No. Yeah. I actually cleared a chair off. One of them was like, "I'll just sit on the chair."
Okay.
Yeah, they were insistent.
Wait, how many people were there?
There's 2 there, 2 in here.
Okay, so it was just I saw one guy and his wife.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay,
That's correct.
Man, I'm big on the not wearing outside clothes on the bed.
Yeah, actually, that brings up another good point. How are you feeling right now with everyone? I mean, I see you're in the sandals, but a lot of people walking in shoes in here. I'm actually in shoes right now.
Yeah, I'm wearing my slides, my New York Knicks slides. There's a lot. This reminds me of the time that I had a party in my house and I asked my son to draw a picture on the door to say, please, remove your shoes. I sort of wish that we did that this time.
Do you want me to tell Mams Taylor when he gets here?
I feel like the damage is done. Mams has he's had a stressful day. I think.
Yeah.
But it would have been a nice, or we should have got those booties. The booties that you put over the shoes.
Those are so insulting.
Nice.
Yeah.
But Mike was down for the cause. Like, he was happy to be here.
It was great, man. I mean, when I was talking to him on the phone, I was like, "Thanks so much for coming." He's like, "No, thank you for having me."
He's so lovable all of a sudden. He's just like a regular guy.
Yeah.
All right, should we get back to the questions? You can hang out here.
You think I should hang out here?
Why? Do you not want to? You get uncomfortable when you're on camera and not
doing something.
Yeah.
Let's play this out, though.
Yeah, let's play it out. What's the next question?
Mams comes, and then you have to get up and go.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to have to go get Mams, so it'll be natural.
You have your phone?
Yeah, it's right here.
Okay, so we're good.
Phone right here. Frank led questions, huh?
Yeah, Frank did a great job. Kai was just saying, like, why is 300 such a big deal? Because we presume that 300 is going to be a card that is stacked. And also people just get, like, Bellator 300. We talked about it a little bit more because it's Bellator 300. The card wasn't anything to really write home about, but it's just like people want to celebrate things, right? Milestones. They just want to celebrate. Don't be such a ninny, as we say. Stefan, Shalom Ariel. I really appreciated your opening to Monday's show. Praying for peace to be restored. Thank you very much. My question is about this week's 1,000-pound gorilla. Oh, Frank, why didn't you tell me this question was about Platinum Perry? I would have asked him the question. If Platinum Perry hypothetically knocked out Logan Paul this weekend, could we be talking Monday about one of the biggest stars in combat? Regardless of whether Dennis flakes, is Mike lined up for a fight with one of the Pauls down the line? Any idea on his December BKFC opponent? Shout out to MF Zoom, your boy Lanzi. I do know who the opponent is in December. I figured it out.
Can you share it?
I don't know.
Should I ask Platinum Perry if you could share it?
Well, yeah. I'm so out of the breaking news game at this point. I leave that to like the overdogs.
It feels like that was a passing of the torch. There.
Yeah, this was a passing of the torch. Yeah. I think the fight, if it actually happens, if it gets signed, because last I checked it wasn't signed, but if it happens, it's a fight that would be perhaps befitting of a setting such as an underground setting. And so perhaps that's a clue for people out there. I'll leave it at that. It might have gone over your head.
Way over mine.
Did it go over your head?
Say the clue one more time.
Rick?
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Say the clue one more time just for everyone out there.
Rick is the king at getting these puns. And so to me, this is a fight that I think would be befitting of an underground setting.
Oh.
Anyway, if Platinum doesn't fight this weekend, I do feel like he has set himself up for a potential fight against one of the Paul brothers. I feel like
I'm there.
Yeah, I'm 1,000% there.
I mean, I was just telling him.
They have been dilly-dallying with him, for a while here.
Yeah.
They've been playing footsie. What'd you say to him?
That I pray that he fights this weekend.
Yeah.
Like anytime he fights, it's must-see television at this point.
But if he fights this weekend, that means we're not getting Dylan. We need some closure to this.
That is true.
Anyway,
he said he's going to fight someone in the crowd.
I hope not. If in fact he does get a fight, yes, it would be a very big deal. And if in fact he does win, it would be a massive deal. Jesse, Ariel, and the Boise's. Do you think any original UFC champion for their weight class could beat a UFC champion of today? Any original UFC champion could beat a current UFC champion? Light heavyweight could be either Yuri or Alex for craps and giggles. Toda Jesse. No.
This is all you.
No. Like a UFC 1 champion or even like the original UFC champions? No. The game has evolved too much. The game has progressed. There's absolutely no way, in my opinion. Maverick, hello, Ariel and team. I know you said judges aren't allowed to talk to media, especially after bad decisions. What about refs? Can they? Yes, we've had refs on this show. We've had Big John back in the day. We've had Mark Goddard back in the day. We've had
shout out.
I was going to say ref aficionado Frank.
Yeah, we've had a bunch.
What ref do you want to see next on the MMA Hour?
Mr. Dean.
Thanks, guys, for putting on great shows, especially Frank for wearing multiple hats to keep the show going. Respect. He really does do that.
Respect
he's
Frank,
producer,
man.
He's moderator, he's audio engineer. He helped us get
Graveyard Shift.
He helped us get a router, which I paid a pretty penny for, which I think it's in the room somewhere, and I think it's helping us out with our stream. It's not?
No.
Okay, so I was just wondering.
It's been delivered. We never went and got it.
It has been delivered?
Yeah, it's been delivered.
Oh,
we
wow.
never went and got it.
Okay, perfect.
So
we'll do that for the Friday show. Yes.
I mean, they told you the internet was smashing.
They did.
Yeah.
Well,
But I mean, everybody says
reference
that.
there.
Motel 6 is like, it's smashing internet.
You getting called there? You seem to have...
Phil Kirkbride's asking if we can share a Zoom link. I'll let you just read it.
We don't... are we doing a Zoom link?
And this is
live on the air.
Live on the air. That's why I didn't want to say any names.
Can we even do a Zoom interview?
I shouldn't even have said who sent the emails.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So we can do a Zoom interview.
Yeah. I mean,
Which one?
Rick is here.
One or two?
It'd be on Zoom too.
Giving away the secrets of the trade, huh?
Oh, I mean, do you want to do this while I'm talking, or do you want me to do it?
Yeah, I can do it.
Can you grab Zoom 2 and send it to...
Absolutely. It's already on the way.
And could you ask them what time this interview is happening?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just throw it on us. No big deal.
This is the beauty of live streaming. It appears as though we're going to have Tommy Fury on the show as well.
Oh, yeah. Breaking news.
So Rick, you may have to tell me what happened. Do I need to watch this clip? Should I watch this clip? Can you Slack me the clip so I can watch it? Are you still there?
as this is happening, Mams Taylor has arrived at reception.
Okay.
We'll go and get him.
All right. This is amazing, guys. This is amazing. This is going to be fun. But on your way there, you probably have to tell them that we have Mams, and if the timing doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out. Or if they want us to talk to him for 5 minutes,
I'll figure it out.
or yes, you produce, or maybe we do it with Mams sitting here.
Mams and you 2 on 1 time.
No, I'd rather not. Okay. So Mams Taylor going to join us. Let me squeeze in a couple more questions here. We've had refs on the show. I'd be happy, but I will say these days it feels like they're less inclined to speak. Goddard does a great job of speaking, though. Happy Wednesday, Ariel and crew from Cole. Last week, Dana said they're considering ranking expansion from 15 to 20. I think that's silly. What are your thoughts on this? That's just another way to promote a fight and say, oh, we've got 18 against 19. Like, come on, what are we doing here? It should have always been 10. 15 is silly, in my opinion. Will it help fans recognize more fighters this way? Is it to make Apex cards seem more meaningful with fighters? Yes, it's absolutely a way to just say guy with a number next to his name is fighting guy with a number next to his name, or woman with a number next to her name is fighting woman with a number next to her name. It's not exactly anything that really, like, does an 18 next to someone's name get you more excited? Really? To me, top 10. There's a distinction there. There's an honor there. It tells you that this person is a big deal. 18, 19, I feel like we're stretching. Irish Tuna, some months ago, you talked about passing on several good qualities to your son, but also that you passed on your anxiety. As a father, is there anything you specifically teach your son in terms of dealing with anxiety from ways that you've learned? That's a great question. In particular to my middle son, Walter, and my daughter, I see some qualities, and maybe not the best ones, from me being passed on to them. And I try to remind them not to sweat the small stuff, and I try to remind them that it's just important to have fun, and that, you know, the game that they just played doesn't really matter. But I also am enjoying, especially with my son now with soccer, I'm enjoying trying to guide him into realizing his potential, because I feel like he kind of rested on his laurels a little bit. And like, just being candid, my son, Walter, is an incredible soccer player, but the last couple of games he didn't start, and I could tell it really bothered him. And so we're trying to figure out together why that may be. And then yesterday he told me that his coach said some really nice things to him. And I told him, you just have to get your coach to believe in you and trust that you are going to play at your potential, and fight and be aggressive and push and not rest on your laurels. And I told him, just show him the effort. All coaches want is to be shown effort. They want to know that you're going 100%, that you're pushing yourself. And I think that's working. And so doing things like that and not being like the crazy sports dad. 1 second. Oh, yeah. Did you hear that, Frank?
That was a nice crack.
Yeah. Or any kind of crazy dad is a lot of fun. I really enjoy that. And yeah, I miss them dearly. I hate missing soccer on the weekends, but you know, sometimes you got to do it, especially for big events like this one. But I hope they don't get my anxiety. Like yesterday, I was super anxious leaving. I really, you know, it was really hard for me too. I felt very guilty. I felt very nervous. You know, weird times. And I hope my wife doesn't have that kind of anxiety, maybe about other things, but she's not a very anxious person. And I hope that they get that from her, as opposed to me being anxious about pretty much everything. All right, Frank, everything.
I never noticed.
No, I mean, I get nervous, and I think I handle it pretty well, if I'm being honest.
As someone who's also anxious, I could say that you handle it even better than me.
I fake it pretty well, wouldn't you say?
I would say. And you should drink more coffee to handle that anxiety.
Yeah, you think it's good? I'm just trying to. I mean, it's 7:50 p.m. here, Frank. We took the flight. We landed at 7:30 a.m., which is 2:30 a.m. back home. Hardly slept. Volkanovski's, you know, jumping in. There's all kinds of craziness going on. So, you know. Oh yeah, people are talking about my my cracking. I sometimes like tune into these Twitter Spaces things, And Twitter Spaces is a big thing in the crossover boxing world. And sometimes Mams comes on these things, and people go crazy about some of the things that he says. So I wonder, is this going to be like one of those Twitter Spaces? Can we alert the masses? Who do we need to tell about this?
Everyone.
So New York Rick, so there was a fight, right? People got punched in the face?
Jumped off.
Oh, is that why he didn't answer me? Is it because of the fight? Let me see if I can watch this real quick. Should I? The look of love. Okay, so I'm seeing something here. It's a bit of a bird's eye view. I'm going to do a little play-by-play for you guys. I see Tommy. Very easy to point him out. New York Rick saying that you kicked him off, Frank.
He would say that.
Okay, so I'm seeing more stuff happening here, not a lot of activity. Oh, I guess it's from the top. Oh, I see here. So KSI, I wasn't looking up there. KSI is on the balcony, and he's talking to Tommy while I think he's getting. Is this going to happen tomorrow when I'm at the press conference? Is there going to be like people fight? Like I don't have the stomach for all of this. Okay, I'm all about peace and love, peace and love. I don't have the stomach for this type of activity. This is craziness. Do you feel like these guys, because they come from the influencer world, do you feel like they always have to make a moment, make a scene? Do you think that's part of the problem?
Absolutely.
Or is that part of... Yeah?
Was that rhetorical, by the way? I'm sorry.
No, I was actually asking you.
Yeah, I think that they turned it up to 11. It's entertainment, which, as a newcomer to the combat world, it's fun.
But, oh, now I see a bottle being thrown. Okay, this is a long clip. Oh, here's John Fury. I see him. Okay, I see this. I know these aren't the best of sounds, but I'm very parched at the moment, Frank.
You do your thing.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot going on. I mean, we're live. Okay, we're live. All right, we're live, everyone. Things are happening. I know. I'm sorry, Sean. Sean is saying he feels like he's spying on me doing work through when I'm trying to get this. I'm trying to get this going and understand what's going on before we get this guest coming into our kitchenette. And, we don't take breaks. We don't take breaks, guys. That's just what we do. We're live. Okay, we're live here. We're crazy. We're crazy. Okay, let me go back to the questions. Is New York Rick back? Because I think one of these questions is for New York Rick.
Not yet.
Okay, he's not. Okay. Clamato Juice. Nice name. Ariel, shout out to you and the family abroad. Much love, my man. Thanks for delivering us solid entertainment in these trying times. You bring out the best in everyone. Question for Frank. He had a big dub on Saturday. Let him have this one. I agree. Which lead-in is better? Mars Volta's Sun et Lumiere into Inertiactic S or Parabol? Yeah, or Parabol into Parabola by Tool. Love the show. Gets better every year. Rock on, GC. Start a GoFundMe for International Fight Week next year. I'll donate. Clamato juice. Wow, how kind.
Do you drink Clamato juice?
No, that's like a tomato juice, right?
Yeah, it's like a V8. It's a little spicier.
It's very kind of him. I don't know what he was saying, but please answer that if you can.
Yeah, I'll explain real quick. He's referring to songs on albums that lead into another song, and like they just get goosebumps on your arms. Like this is a great break or whatever. To answer his question, Parable going into Parabola, can't beat that. But it's a good question. It had to go on the list. I appreciate it. Clamato.
Okay. That's it. All right. Debo, shalom, Ariel. Curious to hear your thoughts on Dana White's comments at his presser where he got upset at Oliveira's camp for leaking the news. Why is Dana so caught up on having to be the one who announces all the big news? Charles is the one who got injured and whose life got impacted the most from this. Shouldn't he have the right to announce that he's out if he wants? Thanks, and always enjoy the shows, Debo. My understanding of it was that Dana wanted Charles to tell the UFC before he got it stitched up. He said they could have went to a plastic surgeon and done it differently and perhaps saved his spot on the card. But some of the guys like to say after they get it done because they're afraid of what the UFC is going to do. And he also said, to his credit, that he understood why they would do that, why they would be trepidatious about telling the UFC while the cut is so open, and it was a gnarly, gnarly cut. Feel horrible for Charles and for the guy who was responsible for that sparring partner. I didn't hear him say that he was mad at him for breaking the news. If he did say that, yeah, that's a little bit silly. But honestly, from the clip that I saw, and maybe I missed it, I just heard him say, I wish he would have told us before he got it stitched up because maybe we could have helped save him on the card. So I actually agree with Dane on that one. Like, if you're going to be in business with a promoter, maybe they can help you stay on the card. Isn't that ultimately what you want? But to his credit, he did say he understands why fighters are hesitant to do so. So there you go. Another compliment from me to DW. And by the way, shout out to them for bringing back the flags. It's a beautiful thing. I love the way they spun it. Organization who bans flags then makes a big deal about bringing them back when no one asked for them to be banned and no one really understood why they were banned. And now there's a whole big thing and people are like, look at him. I saw some accounts, some non-MMA accounts post this clip and say, Dana White, in response to what's happening in Israel, is letting people bring back the flags. Like, no, he is not. It has nothing to do with that. It was probably in response to the Russia stuff. And then he said he was watching the Noche UFC event and then decided that they should be brought back. And they should have always been allowed. At the very least, they can't bring out gimmicks and masks and whatever or sponsor flags. The least they could bring out or should be able to bring out is a flag of their home country, or any flag for that matter. As long as it's not offensive to anyone, who cares, is what I say. So I'm happy that they brought that back. I just thought the way that whole thing was framed was a little bit funny. Gamecock Jake, Ariel, longtime listener, first-time asker. I'll be traveling to NYC for the first time come UFC 295 weekend. I'm curious if you and the fellas have any tips for navigating the city, any do's and don'ts to consider. Also be my first time traveling without my 2-year-old daughter. Have any advice for being away from your kiddos since you travel for work often? I mean, it's tough, man. It's tough, but enjoy it. And the silver lining there is that she is still pretty young. It's a little tougher when they get older. I'll get to the tips in a moment. For now, though, let me put my sandals. I'll be right there. Let me get my let me take my headphones off and make myself presentable because I think we have a luminary here. I can't find my sandals, guys. They're all over the place. I'm all over the gaff here. I'm getting them. 1 second. I'm just trying to clean up. I do believe we have company, friends. I do believe. Let's go check. I feel like this is my Firefly Funhouse. Let's go check who is here. We'll open the door. And do we have company? And there he is, the great Mams Taylor. Ariel. How are you? Good, great to see you. I think you just closed the door on my producer, GC over there. I mean, please, we're live right now, Mams. How about this fancy studio that we have here? Yes, we only had 2 guests on this show today. It was you and Platinum Perry, and I'm really appreciative that you would come in. We've met once before when you were there with JJ in New York, and I'm sorry it's not the usual MMA Hour studio, but we're here.
I love it, man.
This is great.
Thanks for having me.
I'm actually a little bit shocked you're here.
Well, I can't stay too long, but I'm very honored to be here. It's big week. It's going to be. There's so much going on. It's crazy. Had a last minute pull out. So
do you mind just putting this a little bit closer? Yeah. That's it. Okay. So, all right. Just tell me, just so I know, this is all live here. Okay. So like we do things. How long do you have? 10, 15? What do you got? It's currently 8 o'clock.
8:45.
Oh, okay. We got time. We got time. Okay. Okay. It's 8 o'clock right now, just so you know.
Perfect.
So, all right. I won't keep you that long. Can we start with the pullout? I saw while we're doing the show, is Ryan Taylor out of the fight?
Yes.
What happened?
He got arrested.
Here?
No, I don't think so. I don't have all the details, but he got arrested, and he's dealing with all that, so he couldn't take his blood test on time and everything else. It's a day in the life of Misfits boxing.
He got arrested today or recently?
I think today or yesterday.
Wow. And can I ask what he did?
Apparently, it's something to do with a music video he was working on, and it incited some kind of hectic craziness in the streets.
Okay, now he was fighting Swarms in a
He was fighting
rematch,
Swarms.
and highly anticipated rematch. A bitter feud, maybe one of the most bitter on the card, right?
Definitely.
Is Swarms going to fight someone else?
I'll know in an hour. I've gotten him a couple of options.
Okay. You want to break something here on the show?
When I get it, if I get it in time,
okay.
yeah.
This is like, I was saying, this is like those Twitter spaces that you like to do, and there's like crazy things going on, and people are calling in and attacking you. Any chance it's Platinum Perry?
No, I don't think Swarms is ready for Platinum Perry. No offense to Swarms.
No, I know. And I think Platinum's a little bigger, right?
He's definitely bigger.
Yeah.
Swarms is 165. Platinum's 185, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he fights at 170 typically, but I think for this, he's in the 180, 190 territory, right?
He kept the weight on just in case.
Okay. So that fight, so we may get Swarms, we may not. It's TBD.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like canceling fights. I'll replace an opponent or replace the fight if I have to. I'll do whatever I can because I hate the letdown factor of that.
Yeah, absolutely, especially with two big names.
Yeah.
I've been doing the show for a couple hours now, but I saw on social media something happen at the open workouts with JJ KSI, John Fury, Tommy Fury, Greg Paul as well. Can you, for those that have been watching this and not that, apologies for counter programming. It wasn't my intention. Could you tell us what happened?
I actually wasn't in the thick of that for once, so I'm not too sure. But I heard that John Fury wants to fight Greg Paul, and KSI did something, maybe threw his gum at John Fury or something like that. So, it's all mayhem.
Okay.
I heard a lot of shouting, and that's when I got there too late.
Is there any part of you that feels like you need to tell John Fury to take it down a notch?
No.
Okay, you're okay with all of this?
Yeah, sure. It's John Fury. And do you think, look, a lot of people listen to me.
Yes.
I don't think John Fury is one of those people who
Okay, fair enough. Are you interested in booking a John Fury, Greg Paul? Greg Paul is the father of Logan and Jake, for those that don't know. Are you interested in booking this fight?
Maybe in Mississippi.
And why Mississippi?
No, okay. I think it's certain commissions would
right.
Not,
is it? But like you are known to, go off the.
We push the boundaries.
Yeah.
But I always want everyone to be safe. That's always, things that we take major precautions with that. Even though it gets a little wild and crazy, I don't want anything to actually happen. And I want the fighters to get into the ring safely. So that's important to us, of course.
Okay. And what about the line? Like I was talking about this before you came in, JJ, Logan, Dylan to a degree, all like they are creators, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like they put this pressure on themselves to create moments, but that could be jeopardizing your event. Like if this gets physical today, tomorrow, weigh-in, they want to create a moment. They get so fired up. I think it's all authentic and coming from a place in their heart that they want to just explode. But they have to recognize that like there's an event to be held, right? How do you balance that between the creator and then ultimately you're a prize fighter? This whole thing goes in flames if you don't fight on Saturday.
It's a balancing act. You have to spin a lot of plates. And look, sometimes you see comments like, oh, this is so pre-planned or anything. Nothing is ever pre-planned. No one's like, hey, John Fury, 3 minutes into the press conference, start kicking the tables down.
Right.
Like that's it, but we expect certain things to happen. Last event we had in Newcastle, 009, it was so tame that it was, everything went beautifully, which I like because then when it does go a little crazy and chaotic, it doesn't lose its effect. It's not like every time you're going to get that.
Right.
So I welcome more of that peaceful kind of fight week as well once in a while.
Is there beefed up security for tomorrow for the weigh-ins? Yes.
More security. Yeah, we got a lot of security for this event. So
are you worried that something is going to happen that could jeopardize one of the fights?
Not now that I have the amount of security. I have very high level security, all in the right places to ensure the safety of everyone and all of that stuff. So yeah, I'm definitely I'm definitely not too concerned about that.
Okay, it's October 11th. I remember when you first told me privately that you were booking Dylan Dennis versus Logan Paul.
Yeah.
I have no problem saying that I said, like, you're crazy for doing that only because he burned you back in January.
He did.
But it seemed like you were one of the few guys who believed that he wouldn't burn you this time around. In your heart of hearts, did you believe by Wednesday of fight week that he would still be here, that he would still be a part of the fight?
I really did, and I think I'm not going to lie and say I haven't had doubts throughout, especially some of his cryptic tweets and some of his more direct tweets. I'm out, But I've had a relationship, a good relationship with him, where I feel that I've seen the other side of him, where he's more or less straight up with me, and we talked about it and how important it is that he turns up from the get-go. I said, I'm going to give you this opportunity, but you can't, you can't pull out. And listen, he's promoted the heck out of the card, and he's won a lot of fans doing that, and I got to give him credit. But at the same time, it's mixed feelings because I don't agree with the way he's promoted. So it's, but that's not, I try and stay out of that as much as I can.
At any point, did you say to him, this is going too far?
Yes, I did at one point. When the picture that was taken, I heard was not a picture that was online or whatever, and I said, hey, this is too much. What's going on? Take this down. He did take it down.
Okay.
And he said he didn't know, and he said that it was a picture that he got online.
Right.
So anyway, that's it. Otherwise, I just I try and stay out of it. It's shocking, it's alarming, and it's like I'm close with Logan, obviously. And he's a great guy, and I don't like that this is happening, and it puts me in an awkward position. But then I've got to realize this is the platform I've given. This is what Misfits Boxing. I'm not going to say that this type of promotion is what it's about, but anything goes kind of thing, and I got to let them figure it out.
You talk about like shocking and whatnot. To me, in a sort of way, like it has been shocking to see the support that he's gotten. Like when this fight was first announced, I thought Logan Paul, this is just what the doctor ordered for Logan Paul. Logan Paul, who's kind of teeter between babyface and heel, you know those terms, you're a wrestling fan.
Yes.
If he is the guy to get in the ring with Dylan Dennis and knock him out, he's a babyface for life because everyone hates Dylan Dennis. What has happened now is it feels like Dylan is the face and he gets so much support, and Logan is the one who's like trying to scratch and claw to get on his level in terms of support. Are you surprised by this?
Honestly, I'm not too surprised by anything these days, but I will say that Dylan has become the anti-hero. He's definitely become the anti-hero that people are rooting for. Logan has his fan base, but I think when you're winning for such a long period of time, people are going to root for the underdog to some degree. Again, the means in which he became the underdog, I personally don't agree with,
right.
But he's there and he does it. And if he shows up and fights and puts on a real performance, his stock has gone up exponentially since last time.
How confident are you that he's fighting on Saturday?
I'm pretty confident.
At this point, you feel very confident?
I'd say I'm pretty confident.
Okay.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy that on the Wednesday night before a Saturday fight that's even like a legit question? But it kind of is a legit question with him, right?
I mean, I had to pull out today.
Yeah.
It happens, and it's not darts. No offense to darts.
No, okay.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll beat you at darts.
I do. Okay, yeah, we'll
but
play.
Yeah, but it's not darts. It's not pool. It's not celebrity golf. At the end of the day, people get injured. This is something you got to take seriously when you're in that ring. And it's easy for people to poo-poo these guys, but they do the training. Mm-hmm. They live like fighters. Some of them year-round. Some of them 3 months before a fight, they start, getting into training, and then 2 months before get into camp. But they live like fighters. So they're in the ring, and you've seen there's a different level of talent there. There's some guys who are a little more casual, and there's some guys who have been doing this for a bit longer. And look, you got KSI fighting a pro boxer who beat Jake Paul.
Right.
And I think people are going to be they're going to be surprised by what happens on Saturday, hopefully,
And I'm curious, you said he promoted the card well. You may not agree with everything, but ultimately, like, he has done arguably the best of the four guys. Who would have thought in terms of drawing attention to the card?
He's drawn the most attention, for sure, yeah.
So you can make that strong case. Just curious, do you want to still be in business with Dylan after if he fights, win or lose? Do you want to have him on future Misfits cards?
It's such a tough position to be in because of my relationship with Logan and Dylan, and it's not me. I'm not trying to be disloyal to anyone, but I have to be loyal to the business, and he's good for the business. Mm-hmm. So he's got a fan base, and people are interested in seeing him fight. And at the end of the day, as long as people are interested in seeing him fight, then I think it's a logical move to keep him fighting.
Both he and Logan told me that Misfits had to pay Bellator $100,000 to allow him to fight. Is that accurate?
I can't comment on that.
All I'm asking is, can he even legally fight for you guys after this, or would you have to keep paying them every time you want him?
Well, I've got a good relationship with Scott, and he's been such a gentleman, and we've always worked it out. It's never been contentious or difficult, or it's literally been like, you know, one quick conversation, and we're like, okay, this is how we're going to do it. Are you cool with this? Yes, you know. So whatever's involved, I'm pretty confident that it's not going to be too challenging.
Was it challenging to get Logan to fight on this, given his WWE deal, or is that a carve-out that wasn't even an issue?
That was a carve-out, too.
Okay.
Yeah, so
pretty easy.
Yeah, Logan wanted to fight. They wanted the Prime card, limited edition bottle.
Wow, look at this.
Yeah.
The Prime card bottle.
I would have brought you one. It got too hectic with John Fury.
I mean, wow, look at that. You've got the card on there. You guys are master marketers. And what flavor is this, by the way?
This is Ice Pop flavor.
Oh.
So you've tried that, but it's in the limited skin.
Can people buy that?
No.
Oh, wow.
I'm sure on eBay someone's going to be on there.
That is incredible.
But yeah, they're limited to 1,000 winners from today.
Why did you book KSI versus Tommy Fury?
KSI wanted Jake Paul. He really wanted Jake Paul.
We can talk about this. This is fun. I've been looking forward to this.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
this is the one.
This is the one that we've all wanted. The whole community, the whole scene has wanted this, even before I was a part of it. So like me coming in, a lot of people see me as an outsider who just jumped in. But listen, it's I'm in the KSI business. I'm in the Misfits boxing business, and all of these businesses. So I take it seriously, and I do my research, and I look into it, and I was like, of course, this is the logical fight after the Logan and KSI fight. It's been impossible to make that fight, and it's not been for a lack of effort from our side. They've teeter-tottered between, Jake wants to go the pro boxing route. Jake wants to fight a tougher challenge. Jake wants to do this. Jake wants to do that. Okay, we'll do the fight. Let's do the fight. And then change their mind again. So it's really been a case of us just being frustrated and trying to make this happen. And at this point, if you say, I saw one of your tweets a while ago saying like, you know, that this fight has to happen or else, you know, it's really not a lack of effort from our side.
It wasn't or else. Like, I wasn't trying to like threaten anyone. I was just saying I really want to see it. But I think what you're referring to is when I said like shame on everyone.
Shame on everyone.
Yeah.
That's it. But it's really not shame on us, because how many times can you try? And you can't just give in to everything that these guys want. And it's so much game playing, and it's exhausting. And it got to the point where we said, okay, well, Jake's lost this fight. And KSI's like, I want Tommy Fury.
Okay.
And we were negotiating with Tommy, and he's like, why haven't we signed this? And we're like, we're stuck on the weight, because we were going to do 180. That was agreed initially verbally. And then Tommy's side was like 185, and we're like, there's no way. So he's like, 183, take it or leave it, or just have KSI fight a smaller guy. At least they were direct. They weren't like, they just said, we can't do this if it's under 183. So I told KSI that. He's like, I'm taking this fight. I don't care what anyone says. I want to fight Tommy Fury. So, you know, he put his foot down on that. And we all said, let's give it some more time, see what happens. It's a big payday for everyone. For Tommy, you know, he's doing great out of this. And KSI's like, no, I don't want to wait. I want to fight him. I want to have this goal in my head so I can start my camp.
Would you have preferred him not fight Tommy Fury, and especially at this weight?
No, I believe in him wholeheartedly because of I know what he's capable of. I know his willpower. I know his work ethic. It's unparalleled. The guy is very, very focused, and it's easy to make fun and this and that. But when you see him, like, hopefully on Saturday, everyone will get a taste of like this KSI, because he's very hungry for it. But he even said he's a goal-oriented person who manifests his goals, and he goes for it fearlessly, and he wanted to fight Jake. That was one of the reasons he got back into boxing. He wanted to have some warm-up fights, get back on the level where he feels confident. Jake had a head start. KSI was doing music. Jake was focusing on boxing. And KSI's like, no, I want to fight Jake. Let's go for this aggressively. So we really did. And then when he saw that this was just not going to happen with Jake's team, he said, well, logically for me to beat the guy who beat Jake is the best way I can go. I mean, that's beating Jake without even fighting him.
But as you know, styles make fights, right? Just because you beat this one guy doesn't mean you're better than that guy. That's what someone would say. But I understand where he's coming from. If I can't beat him, let me try to beat the guy who beat him.
But the guy doesn't want to fight him unless it's...
Do you believe that, though?
Honest to God, yeah. I believe that he didn't know what he wants and he's conflicted. I think there are times where Jake really believes he wants to fight KSI. And he's like, let's screw this. Let's put this to bed and let's do this. I believe he thinks that. And then other things get in the way, or maybe because Jake doesn't have as many things going on as, say, KSI, who's got Prime and Misfits boxing and a whole host of other things. If Jake fights KSI and loses to KSI, that's it for him. It's done. Where does he go from there? You know, he's going to have to start playing volleyball or darts or something. And you know, I think he's got a lot more to lose in that sense. So maybe he was hesitant for that reason. Because if he really wanted to fight, we had all the 99% of the terms agreed.
Okay,
Nikisa
so
and
I was just
myself.
going to ask you, have you ever felt like you were there?
Yeah.
Yes.
I even tweeted, this fight will happen this year.
And what year was that?
23?
Okay.
It was going to happen in December at a stadium in Cardiff, 90,000 people.
This December coming up, or 2022? So this like in a few
December.
months. Okay,
Yeah.
And that would have superseded this card, this fight.
This card wouldn't have probably happened. Yeah,
it would have happened at Principality Stadium.
that's right.
And why did
We
it fall
booked
through?
it.
You
We
booked
booked
it.
the stadium.
You had the date.
We had the date.
What was the date?
I can't remember. December 13th or something.
Okay, and so why did it not happen?
Nikisa said that Jake changed his mind.
Okay.
And we even offered to move it forward to do it on this date, around this date, October or whatever. And then Nikisa called me after the Tommy fight and said, hey, Jake's changed his mind. He's like, Nikisa said, I want him to fight KSI. I think it makes sense for him. After losing to Tommy, he should fight KSI. But Jake says he wants a bigger name and someone he can prove himself more against.
Okay.
And no disrespect to Nate. He's incredible. Someone I've grown up, you know, watching and being entertained by. I'm a fan. I'm not disrespecting Nate. But I don't think he's a tougher opponent than KSI in the boxing ring.
Okay.
At all.
You bring up Nikisa Badarian, who's his business partner. I'll be honest with you. You know, I like Nikisa a lot. I have a very good relationship. He's gone to bat for me, and I like you a lot. You're such a soft-spoken guy. You're like, this is only the second time we've met in person, but I enjoy our chats. You're a straight shooter. He's a very straight shooter. Why can't you guys get along? Why is that? Is it just because you back your guy, he backs his guy? Because I understand people not being, excuse me, the best of friends, but sometimes I feel like it gets like very personal with you guys, and I would love to know why.
There have been times where him and I have gotten along really well.
Okay.
He's come over to my house.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he came to my ranch, hung out. We
Recently or a long time ago?
No, a long time ago.
Okay.
When we first started talking.
Okay.
But he never stays true to his word, man. And to me, I don't care. If I have to break my word, I will tell you in advance. You won't find out that I'm breaking my word. I'll call you and say, hey, I've got a problem right now. I can't adhere to the things that I said that I would do. This is what's happened. I'll explain it to you. If some force majeure situation happens. With him, it was always weaselly and snaky and doing things that we agreed specifically that we made a handshake on, and then he'd go back on it and he'd be like, hey man, it's not my fault, it's this, it's that. So after the second time, I was like, what is the saying, fool you once?
Right.
You know, so
that's what I said to you about booking Dylan.
Booking Dylan, yes. I think it was 2 or 3 times, and I was like, I can't trust this guy.
And do you think it's his fault, or do you think it's Jake's fault and he's just taking the bullets for him?
It doesn't matter, because if KSI changes his mind on something that I give my word on, then that's on him.
Okay.
But that's the brotherhood we have. I'm not afraid of KSI and telling him my opinion, and he's not afraid to tell me his opinion. So that's the relationship we have. Of course, I would, I would bat for KSI no matter what. He's done a lot for me. I've done a lot for him. We've got a tremendous partnership. It's very honest and raw. But at the same time, if I'm responsible for something, I put my hands up, and same with him. But I think with Nikisa, maybe he was covering up for Jake. I don't know.
Has it reached a point where you can't do business?
I think we need you. I don't know. You
need me to
maybe
moderate?
a mediator. Yeah, we need
I would
something.
love it. I think that would be.
I did suggest if they were to fight that we live stream the negotiations.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I stand by that because they always find like little. Look, Ariel, let's say you're objective in this, but you're a fan of Jake's and and you're friends with Jake and KSI. Jake has been caught lying multiple times. It's undeniable. He's lied about so many things.
You get really heated when you tweet about Jake too. I'm like, man, you're such a like nice guy. Then I see some of these tweets. I wake up and I'm like, holy crap.
Because bro, I've seen, and you know what? Outside of this whole realm, outside of this whole realm of social media and fighting and everything else, he's probably a nice guy. Nikisa, I've seen the nice side of him. I've heard really good things about Jake too, but Logan and KSI hated each other for a long time, and now they're great.
You ever find that awkward that there's like such a beef with the brother, but yet the other brother is business partners with your guy?
I sometimes wonder if Logan thinks like, or sees something that I say about Jake, and he thinks like, Have you
ever had like a heart-to-heart with him about that?
No, not about that. Okay. Not about that. But I think Logan accepts that. A long time ago, Logan said, and he's such a gentleman towards me. I know, there's mixed reactions online and everything, but he's been a gentleman. He's been a great partner. He's been, really, really honest and very great communicator with everything. So, maybe I don't think that's a problem because they've just settled into that relationship, because I think Logan at one point said, hey, if I take my brother's side over everyone, then I won't be speaking to anyone. Because his brother had a lot of beefs at some point, So, I don't know.
Do you think they'll fight?
Each other?
Yeah.
No.
Do you believe that there's a beef there, or is that all for the cameras? Like
no.
That podcast after his win over Nate was uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, it was. But I think that they have that love that supersedes that stuff. And I think at the end of the day, they're brothers, and usually blood is thicker than water. And at the end of the day, they patched it up pretty quickly and seem to be supporting each other. So that's nice to see. You don't want to see feuds within families.
Okay, so going back to you didn't necessarily answer it. Can you do business with their side?
It just has to make sense, and it depends. There's so many variables at this point. I think we're in the driver's seat. Come Saturday, we'll really be in the driver's seat, God willing.
Does a win
crossed.
hurt the chances, or does a loss, like which scenario hurts and which scenario helps in your opinion?
I mean, the fight, I'm very one-track minded with this particular fight. So I'm 100% biased. I'm 100% invested in KSI winning. So I don't consider, and I'm not a plan B type person. This is it. This is plan A, plan B, plan C. KSI is going to win the fight.
Okay.
And he thinks like that. So
if he wins, does that mean that when he wins, excuse me, does that mean the fight isn't happening? Does that kill the fight forever?
It depends on JJ. Look, I said this before. It's like with KSI, we talk about what excites him and what he wants to do. I'll never say, hey, man, you have to do this because it's going to make a lot of money. That's not my way. And I think that's why we get along so well. It's more like, yeah, I'm excited about fighting Conor McGregor. I'm excited about fighting this guy or not. But if he's not excited about it, then I'm not going to push for it. So he's leading the charge on that, Is
there any chance he retires with a win on Saturday?
Yeah, it's very possible.
Really?
He's got a lot of stuff going on and a lot of things he still...
Is the Conor thing real? That was out of the blue, right?
we didn't know how it was coming.
Anthony Joshua wins. Conor gets in the ring, does an interview with Ade, and calls out KSI. What does he say? What was it about the eggs?
Eggs.
The egg
you
carton?
made the egg joke a couple of times.
Yes. I forget it. It was like you liked it. It was the egg.
Box eggs and an egg boxing factory.
Yeah, you like that joke?
He repeated it a couple of times. He's being bashful. He loved it. Is that a real thing?
Egg boxing factories?
No. Like, is Conor versus KSI?
We should Google that.
Is Conor versus KSI an actual possibility?
I think anything's possible, man. I would love to see that happen personally. But again, does it excite KSI? Will it excite Conor? There's obstacles in the way of making that happen, but I think it can,
Is Conor going to be here on Saturday?
I've heard he is.
Okay.
I've heard he is.
Is Jake going to be here on Saturday?
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I got a text from Logan saying, and Jeff, Logan's manager, saying, "Hey, Jake is concerned about coming," and I said he shouldn't be. Like, he will be treated like Logan's brother, and he'll be given, full VIP treatment and everything else.
I mean, this is going to be hostile, right?
There'll be tension in the air for sure.
Who's going to be the fan favorite in that main event? Tommy Fury, who's from here, or KSI, who obviously is a gigantic star, but isn't a Manchester product? Do you think it's going to be like a pro-Manchester crowd, or do you think it's going to represent all of...
I think there'll be a mix.
Yeah.
I think there'll be a mix.
Will JJ get booed?
Honestly, who knows? I think JJ loves being the underdog. He loves being the guy who's there with a goal to, against adversity, against all the odds, overcomes, and that's his mindset. So he even tweeted like he hasn't been excited about a boxing match since Logan Paul, which is interesting, So he's definitely excited. He's
21,000 people.
Yes, sir.
Sold out.
Sold out in what, 6-7 hours, something like that.
That is wild. And the gate? Can you tell us what the gate is? Are you at liberty to do that?
No, I leave that to Kalla. He'll tell you.
Okay. And what do you predict the pay-per-view buys will be?
Tough to predict with the piracy stuff and everything, but
because that's their fan base, right? That's always been the problem with them. Their fan base is so technologically advanced. And savvy.
Yeah.
Is there a case to be made that maybe they shouldn't be on pay-per-view anymore?
There is, but I think that's like the whole Napster thing and Spotify, how it evolved into Spotify and Apple Music now and streaming. I think when someone finds and figures out how to do that correctly and monetize and still be able to afford to pay the fighters, then on the level that they're being paid, then they're going to crack that code, And it's something I've looked into as well, but it's, big companies are always adverse to moving quickly and being first. So it's not like there's a line of people trying to see if this works or not without pay-per-view. So
this is a pay-per-view. What do you think? Does it break a million?
Yeah.
Easy?
I'm confident it breaks 1 million easy.
Can we get to 2?
That would be awesome.
Some have said my inclusion on the broadcast is what's going to get you guys over the top. True or false?
I think that's very true. I think you're going to contribute to 80% of our pay-per-view.
Wow. And just like Dylan, I don't get a cut as well of the pay-per-view.
I don't know why. We got to talk about
that. That is crazy. Is that true? Does he really not get a cut?
He doesn't get a cut because you got to remember he wasn't in a position to negotiate, having pulled out of a previous fight.
Right.
And no one had a crystal ball to say, hey, Dylan, if you fight, you're going to bring this much business in, And so he got a good deal for the time, and he ended up showing what he can do. Again, gray area with the method.
Right.
But to be fair, I think I've had the conversation with Dylan. I'm like, you show up to fight, you do well in this fight, you've got a big future, financially for fighting, whether it's with us, whether it's with someone else. I think at that point he's a commodity.
Platinum Perry was just here moments ago. He said he wants to fight someone on Saturday. Are you worried that he's going to try to fight in the crowd? Are you worried about this guy just coming all the way here and saying, like, if I'm not getting Logan, I'm fighting someone?
I don't think so.
Okay.
He seems cool, man.
He is cool. I do like him, but that's what he told me, so I just wanted to ask if you were
just
worried.
Fight anyone?
Yes.
I don't know. Him and John Fury will probably.
Well, the one that he wants is Darren Till.
Yeah.
Did you try to make that happen?
Yeah.
And what happened?
We're working.
Oh, you're trying to. I was wondering if you tried to make it for this card.
No. I think because of what Misfits Boxing has been about since inception, which is just over a year, 14 months, I wanted this card to be the best of the best as a representative of what we've done in that year, if that makes sense. And whilst we have moved into MMA fighters fighting, we've had that a few times, and I want to keep on growing in that realm as well. MMA fighters doing the boxing stuff. I feel that might not be the right timing for that fight. So,
okay, but you are talking to Darren?
Yeah.
Mike kept bringing up a tournament. Is there anything you could say about that?
The tournament, unfortunately, it was a pro tournament. So it would be 3 fights in one night.
Wow.
And the winner gets $1 million.
Okay. How many rounds?
3 rounds for each fight.
Okay.
And the schedule conflicts were kind of out of hand, and because of that, we've moved that to next year.
Okay.
But it's going to happen.
Are there people confirmed?
A few of them are, yeah.
Anyone you want to tell us?
I can't.
Oh,
Yeah,
why not?
I can't. I gotta let me do my surprises WWE.
Oh, you
style.
do that? Yeah. You like that?
I love it.
You love the WWE
the mystery
stuff.
opponents.
I know it's fun.
That tag team.
It's fun to see. And by the way, shout out to True Jordy. I really enjoyed your interview with him.
Thank you. Yeah,
it was a great conversation, and I'm trying my hardest not to. I want to tell everyone out there to go check out that interview, and I don't want to rehash the same stuff that you spoke about with him. But the wrestling, I'm a big wrestling fan as well, and so I see you taking those elements from the world of WWE. Is there anything that you won't do? Is there a line, or are you open to everything?
Well, the action in the ring is always going to be unpredictable. What happens?
It will never
in the
be
ring,
scripted.
It will never ever be scripted.
Okay.
That's one thing for sure. So if people have wondered about that, just because like, oh, what you do is more WWE,
right?
But of course, we don't have predetermined outcomes, nothing like that. So I will plant seeds sometimes and say, hey, like, not quite as simple as this, but like, oh, this guy just called you fat,
right?
But we'll do that a little bit, and then let them, after we plant the seeds, we'll let some stuff happen, and I'll tell someone, like I developed a guy called Uncle Pizza. He's still developing. He's a good boxer. I needed a replacement, and this guy can box, but he didn't have as big a following as I normally have from most of our fighters. So I said, what are you passionate about? He's like, I love pizza. I love making pizza. I love eating pizza. I love ordering it. So I said, okay, you're Uncle Pizza. So it was a Vince sort of esque type move.
And you enjoy that?
I enjoy it a lot. And then he goes and, he's in a pizza hat with a pepperoni cape, and he starts giving pizza slices to the audience. It's a bit of fun, So
and when people, like the old guard, if you will, the establishment, when they rip on you, when they say what you're doing is bad, everyone asks Eddie Hearn about it. And I think he's generally complimentary of you guys. I mean, I actually see him tweeting about the shows, and he has nothing to do with it. I know DAZN's success.
And he's coming to the show, yeah.
He's going to be there.
Yeah.
What a guy. But, like, do you ever get offended? Do you ever feel, like, has anyone ever... Dana White, was asked about the card, and he was like, come on, guys. You saw that clip, right?
Yeah. Look, I'm such a big fan of what Dana's done in the space. I'm such a big fan of what Vince has done. I'm a big fan of what Floyd, Bob Arum, all of these guys, even Kalla, who I'm working with, his dad and him and his brother Nissa, it's like taking a mishmash of different things that we've seen. And for me, what I want to do is learn from the mistakes and make sure fighters are treated well, make sure insurance is there if they need it after, if they have a career of this. And I want to fill the holes that we've seen with other organizations. And basically I made a rule that no fighter, something happened early on, and I made a rule where we pay fighters directly and not to their management or agents, unless the fighter signs off and says, because the agent ran away with 80% of this guy's money. God. So stuff like that, I want us to be known as the most fair and transparent. And ultimately, the kids are going nuts for this. I get calls, emails, DMs from moms, dads, and from kids saying, you've changed my life. My son's used to be obese and depressed, and now he's boxing all the time. He wants to be on Misfits boxing. If you call any gym in England and you ask them how much more full they are with kids between the age of 13, 14, and 22, 23 because of Misfits boxing, we're inspiring a lot of kids to get in shape. And when you get in shape, it's good for your mental health as well. It's good for you to have these goals. So I think we're doing a great thing. It's something we want to develop more and more, the charitable side of things, and giving kids who don't have opportunities as much. We want to provide those opportunities to box, find an outlet for themselves through boxing, music, and a few other things. That's a KSI and Misfits boxing project that we've been looking into as well. So honestly, how can I get offended? We're happy. We're doing great. The numbers don't lie. I know we've inspired traditional boxing to make matches happen, to accelerate making matches happen. What a great year it's been for boxing already. And it's not a coincidence that that's been influenced by us putting stuff on that's making them say, okay, we got to make some stuff happen. Otherwise, we're losing viewership. We don't have the numbers. And we're certainly disrupting. But it's only disruptive to people who have that mindset. Like, oh, this is a disgrace. Why is there tag team boxing? Why not? How does it affect you? If anything, we've got kids now watching boxing that never knew anything about boxing. And a portion of those kids will watch traditional boxing and say, hey, this Canelo fella, I've heard about him. Let me watch him. You know, I'm a boxing fan now. I should know about him. I should know about Benavidez.
Right.
And so on and so forth. So I think it's a good thing all around. I don't understand what the criticism is. If you saw tennis, if you're a big tennis fan, and then this other tennis league where they wear roller skates playing tennis started taking off, why is that bad? Like, it just exists on its own in its own lane.
What do you say to people who, and let me just make sure we're good on time. Oh, wow, we're rapidly approaching. Okay, you have 8 minutes. What do you say to people who say once KSI, Logan, Jake are done, this bubble is going to burst? It doesn't exist anymore. This is all hinging on them, and then we're done.
I don't see that happening. I see the growth in some of these guys, and I think the Prime card is gonna be a great platform for a big growth spurt for some of these guys. We're going to see some star-making performances, and that's why I put our best foot forward. We've got some of our best guys on this card. You got Salt Papi versus Slim, Dean versus Waleed, and for a first-time viewer watching that card, they're going to be like, holy shit, this is entertaining. You know, these guys can fight.
August of 2022, you have your first event. Could you have imagined a little over a year later you're putting on an event like this big with these types of projections, or is this accelerating quicker than you thought?
Honestly, like, I wanted our first event to be like this, but then I got a reality check of, like, because I had this dream card. I was like, hey, DAZN, this is what I want to do. It's going to cost us $20 million, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, that's not how it works. I'm like, oh shit. So I got an education quickly from DAZN and from Kala, and I'm the first person. That's why we have KSI and I have partners in this space. Same with Prime.
Right.
We didn't know about the beverage space, so we have excellent, amazing partners that do. And the same with boxing. We didn't know about how to put on boxing events, so we partnered up with people we trust who are experts in that space. And that's the key to a business like this, is like, if KSI and I had the egos to say, hey, we can do it all, then we wouldn't be where we are. But the ambition was to put our first card on and make it a big, big, huge banger. And it was a great card,
sure.
But it's grown. And I think I was at WrestleMania watching KSI and Logan, and afterwards I spoke to JJ about this, and I was like, bro, I want this production.
Yeah.
I want this for Misfits Boxing.
Is that what we're getting on Saturday?
We're going to get there.
Okay, fair enough.
We'll get there.
A couple quick hitters. One thing, you know, I could do a whole interview with you about Prime. I could do a whole interview with you about your music career, about all the things you've been through. And again, I would urge everyone to check out the interview you did with True Jordy, which focused on a lot of that. And it's a fascinating life that you've had. Could I ask, who came up with the initial idea for Prime? Who deserves that credit? Embryonic stage, like, who was the first guy? Who can you pinpoint and say, this is something, you know, like like someone brought it up first? Is there someone?
Our partners.
And who would that be?
I don't want to reveal
they're
their
silent.
names. Yeah.
Okay.
Our partners are the geniuses.
They came to you guys?
They came to Logan and said, we want to do this with KSI and you.
Wow.
And they came to us.
Okay.
So I reached out to Logan about appearing on a KSI Christmas special in the middle of summer. It was like the Christmas Carol story.
Okay.
It was called the KSI Show, and it was to promote his album. And I said, you guys, you kind of get along now. They don't speak, but I know that there was no hatred. So I took the chance and reached out to Logan, called him and said, would you be a part of this show? And he's like, does KSI know? I was like, no, but I know him, bro. I think you guys would get along. So I was watching Impulsive a bunch. I was like, this guy's a good guy. You know, he's an intelligent guy. He's well spoken, and he was. So I spoke to him and had a great experience speaking to him, and he came and was a part of it. And KSI was like, if it was Jake, though, I would have walked out.
Yeah.
And I was like, I know. That's why we got Logan.
Right.
And that relationship started from that appearance.
Okay.
And then Logan's team hit me up and said, hey, these guys have come to us about this drink. What do you think? I'd like you to speak to them. So I spoke to them, and then the rest is history. But yeah, they deserve the credit. Those guys are geniuses, and they're really smart. The marketing, KSI and Logan, they know what to do.
Sure.
But I think, and they know their audience, and they connect with their, KSI's his biggest, I'd say, strength is his relationship with his audience is very raw and real and honest.
It's impressive.
Yeah, and I think Logan brings his attributes to it too. So it was just it was an unexpected surprise for everyone.
You're a great marketer as well. We could do the tit for tat thing on the tweets and all that. The one thing that I've disagreed with you on, or that I didn't like to see happen, was the thing with Wade, just because it's a sensitive topic for me when a journalist falls out of favor. Are you really selling T-shirts that say "Have fun" on? Is that a real thing?
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, but it's not done with malice.
Okay.
I actually spoke to Wade about it, and he got the joke.
Okay.
Yeah, Wade and I speak pretty frequently about. He called me. He said, "Hey, can we get media passes for my team to come to the event?" I'm like, "Of course."
That's good to hear.
Yeah. It's what happened with Wade was very simple. It's a guy who's got a YouTube channel. He's outspoken, outlandish, sometimes comes up with titles that might be clickbaity, and sometimes the content is against the grain, and it gets people talking. Whether that's intentional or not, you guys decide. But ultimately, I think what happened was he started becoming the face of Misfits boxing as a presenter, as the interviewer, as a commentator, as an all-round guy that's doing so much with Misfits boxing. And then he would say or do things that were a little outlandish on the outskirts of acceptable, where it would potentially affect business. So I got the call from numerous people, and I had to reiterate to him, I was like, "Hey man, if you're working for Apple, and you've got a big social media following and you're a face of it and people listen to you and you've got a contract with Apple exclusively to work with Apple, you can't go and say the iPhone 17 or 16 is a pile of trash, go and buy the Android, because they'll fire you if you do." So we had those kind of talks 6 or 7 times, and it would keep going outside of those lines, and it just made it impossible. So while I understand and don't want to shape what he says or thinks, if he's not going to be a company man in that structure, and I even said, "Bro, if you're uncertain, call me, we can figure it out, whatever. But he's got his own thing going, and he wanted to have both. It's like this.
It's hard to do both. I've struggled with that as well.
Yeah.
It's hard to do both.
Yeah.
It is impossible to do both.
But I respect that.
Yeah, and I told him he actually occupies maybe a more important role on the other side of the fence for you guys than being on the broadcast, as much as it may hurt him.
Right, but you know what? He is a valuable person in the community.
Sure, 100%.
Because he talks about this nonstop. He has a following. His following grew on Misfits as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think but he helped the following of Misfits grow too, because he's talented at what he does and he makes good content. So last time we saw each other, we shook hands. We said, "Hey, there's no hard feelings. It's like a marriage sometimes." I've had 3 of them. It doesn't work. You move on. But
I'm happy to hear that you're in that spot and that you're not denying credentials. Like, it's fine. He can't work. He doesn't want, but
he can go and make 100 videos.
That's
and
good. I'm happy to hear
poo-poo Misfits if he wants, because he's not in our immediate ecosystem.
I'm happy to hear that you're not holding those grudges. I have a minute. JKSI, does it happen ever in our lifetime?
I'd like that. I'd like it to happen.
Yes or no?
Let's leave it there.
I think that's a yes.
I'd like it to happen, personally.
KSI wins, obviously. Does Logan win on Saturday? Can you make a prediction, or are you abstaining?
I've got to abstain from the rest.
Okay.
I'm openly biased about KSI. The rest, I'm in the middle. I'm Switzerland.
Very excited to be here. This is a lot of fun. We've been talking about this for a while. It's great to do the show from here. It's great to be a part of the broadcast. Congrats on everything that you've done. It's really impressive, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing how this all progresses.
Ariel, it's going to be an honor to work with you, and I'm really happy you're a part of it. Thank you.
Thank you. There he is, Mams Taylor, co-founder of Misfits, Prime, Proper Loud Music. The man has done it all. Like I said, we could do a whole other interview, but he's got places to be and things to do, and probably 800 fires on your phone right now that you need to put out. So I'm sorry for taking up so much of your time, but this was great. Thank you so much for coming by. There he is. You could, this is it. We're live. Yeah. Do you want to walk, Connor, do you want to show him out? There he is. Okay. Okay. You're cool. You know how to go? Yes, thank you, Mams. We'll see you tomorrow. All the best. There he is, Mams Taylor of Misfits Boxing. That was a lot of fun. And, I think that we covered a lot of ground there. Let me see. Put my headsets back on, or headset. What an operation we have here. I mean, GC and I just bringing in the guests. I don't know. Do we have more guests coming? Yeah, I think, what do we got? You guys still there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hey. So do we have Tommy Fury now coming up?
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Has he joined the Zoom?
No.
Okay, they said he's going to join at 8:45, right? That was an interesting convo, right? I always like a good promoter convo.
Yeah, very interesting. He almost walked out without his phone. He had me put his phone on a charger.
Oh my god!
He was like, "No, you stay." I was like, "No, I need to give you your phone."
Oh my god!
He was getting a lot of texts, a lot of calls.
Yeah,
a couple from Georgia, a couple Georgia area codes.
Oh, interesting. I wonder who's there. He did this interview with Chew Jordy that I listened to yesterday on the plane. Shout out to YouTube Premium. I downloaded it. Hello, are you there? Who's that? I don't know who that was. But I learned a lot about his backstory, about the things that he has accomplished in the music business with the likes of Lady Gaga and Snoop Dogg and Carmen Electra and Good Charlotte. And I was like, man, this guy has been around. I would love to see the feud with him and Nikisa come to an end, because I have a lot of respect for both of them, and I would love to see the JKSI fight happen. It would just be too big. It would be gigantic. It would be one of the biggest fights in any sort of combat sport that can be made. Like, in terms of money generated, I think it's one of the biggest fights that can be made. So we'll see what happens. There's a part of me that feels like if KSI wins, we go further away from that fight. And if he loses, maybe, both sides say we got to make this happen now. But we shall see, my friends. We shall see. All right, so it is 8:48. And all right, I am being told that we do have our final guest of the day. This is very exciting. He is one half of the main event on Saturday's Prime Misfits card. He's the man who defeated Jake Paul back in February. It's been a minute since we talked to our old friend Tommy Fury, but he is here for a couple of minutes to talk about Saturday's massive card. Tommy, thank you so much for the time. Appreciate it.
Thank you. It's good to speak to you again, sir.
Yes, it is great to speak to you. Again, we were live on the air while the open workouts were going on. Can I ask, I've been seeing tweets and stuff like that. Can I ask your side of the story? What happened there between your father and Logan's father and KSI? What was your perspective on what happened?
I think, tensions was running a bit high. I mean, KSI was just spouting, the usual nonsense that he does. He can't fight, so he's got to compensate it with talking. That's just what he does. But, it just shows where his mental state is at, because he was spitting at people, which is very scruffy. I don't know how anybody looks up to him for being a role model. And then Greg Paul, listen, my dad, people need to understand something. You do not go near me dad, Big John Fury, when he's upset. And that's it. Like, Greg Paul was just in the firing line. I don't really know what Greg Paul said. But listen, you can't play games with my dad, because he's not the man to be messed around with.
Is it accurate that your dad wants to fight Greg Paul? Is this a real thing?
I don't know. I mean, he would have fought him there and then in the flesh, yeah. But I don't know whether he actually wants to fight him. I think there's only one fight my dad's after, isn't it?
And which one is that, just for the record?
I think it's Mike Tyson he's after. I think that's the only fight that he'd ever do.
Oh my God, what a crazy turn of events that would be. Yes, he has said that before. Is there any part of you, Tommy, that, we saw what happened at the press conference. It says, like, I'm getting tired of this. I want to be done with this. In other words, all the theatrics, all the crazy stuff. Are you ever getting tired of it, or is there a part of you that actually enjoys the circus? Are you like amped when these things happen?
I don't really process it. All this stuff that goes on, they're all just idiots, aren't they? No class, no professionalism. There's nothing there. It's like a load of kids running around. So I don't take any notice of it. Like, if I did, I'd be the fool. I'm just here to fight. I've done my work in training camp. I've done what I need to do. I'm in the best shape of my life. And I'm going to go out there on Saturday night and put this man away early. And I'm telling you that now, and I'm truly going to back it up this time. I'm going to do what I should have done to Jake Paul to KSI on Saturday. And for everyone who doesn't believe me or doesn't believe that I can do it, tune in on Saturday night.
I've heard you say that you want to end crossover boxing. Do you think that if you beat KSI on Saturday, that puts an end to crossover boxing?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, at the end of the day, I think he's dead in the water now anyway. I don't think it's as big as it was before Jake was undefeated. You know, when I beat Jake, I think that was it. You know, the hype is truly gone. You know, I've just been to the public workout then. Everyone was there to see me fight. And then when KSI came on, they all left. The building was empty. Nobody's interested because they're just what they are, aren't they? Like, you know, this is my show. It's in my own town and people's here for me. People's just watching it to see what if. But everyone knows what's going to happen. Even Anthony Joshua, KSI's friend, he had to say, oh, I'm sitting on the fence. It's 50-50. And that's his own friend because these guys, they know what's going to happen. So at the end of the day, it's a waiting game. Let KSI talk all he wants because he's only got 2 more days.
Is there an argument to be made, though, that it actually is better for your business, for your career, if this actually continues? Maybe there's a Logan Paul fight out there. You've made some good money off of the crossover boxing world. You've proved some people wrong. Wouldn't it be better for you for this to actually continue as opposed to killing it off?
Yeah, definitely, 100%. But at the end of the day, I'm the head of the table now. I am. I'm going to knock out KSI. I'll be even bigger head of the table. And me and Logan Paul can get it 100%. I'm not overlooking KSI. I'm going to get him out of there on Saturday, and that's all I'm focused on at the minute. But after that, of course, Logan Paul is welcome with open arms. But at the end of the day, once I destroy all of this YouTube influencer boxing, I'm going to bring a new wave out, my own wave. I'm going to bring the class and professionalism over from professional boxing. I'm going to turn it and just keep doing what they're doing, but forget all the circus act because it don't win fights. Talking doesn't win fights. Fighting wins fights. And that's what these guys need to understand.
Who's the tougher test in your opinion, Jake or KSI, for you?
Yeah, I think Jake Paul was a tough test, 100%. I think Jake, you know, at least Jake was in there against combat athletes. You know, at least he fought some combat people who's actually been in fights. KSI's been in there with YouTubers and a rapper. He's fought a rapper and a load of YouTubers. Now, to go from that level to jump up to fighting someone as clinical, as powerful, as strong as me, it's a big ask. But on Saturday night, I promise you now, it's going to be an early night for KSI.
I know the fight ended unceremoniously, but Joe Fournier is a boxer too, right?
No.
Okay.
There was not one. I think Joe Fournier was worse than the YouTubers he fought. Joe Fournier did not want to be in that ring. Joe Fournier was useless. I think my mother could beat Joe Fournier. Didn't want to be in there. Useless. There was no part of what I seen on Joe Fournier. There was no boxer in him. So I don't even look at that fight. I've not even watched that fight because it was useless. Might as well have been in the heavy bag.
Do you watch any tape on KSI? Is there anything that is worth watching in your opinion?
It's not worth watching at all, but have I watched all of his fights? Yeah. I watched everything. I know exactly what he's going to do, and I know exactly what he's going to come prepared on Saturday. He can switch up orthodox and southpaw as much as he wants, even though he can't anyway. He looks so amateurish, and he does a million mistakes. He has no defense and wings from wild shots. That's KSI in a nutshell. But watch how you defeat someone like KSI in emphatic style come Saturday night, because I've got just 3 ingredients for him, and he's going to wish he never, ever shouted my name in his life.
Can you give us a taste? What are those ingredients?
You'll see. I'm going to mix a good potion for him on Saturday night. Make sure you tune in.
Okay, fair enough. And just curious, a victory for you, like a decision, like you did a pretty convincing decision against Jake back in Saudi Arabia in February. Is that not enough? Do you need to stop KSI? Would you be disappointed with a decision win?
Yeah. No, like I say, at the end of the day, I'm going to do to KSI what I should be doing to KSI. Let's have it right. I've been doing this all my life. These guys haven't. They've grown up playing video games on YouTube. I should be going in there and destroying these men. I'm still upset that I didn't get Paul out of there. But trust me, on Saturday night, I'm going to redeem myself. I'm going to put an absolute clinic and destroy this man. Trust me. I am the professional boxer. I'm the bigger, stronger man. I have advantages in every single corner of this fight. So trust me, it's going to be an early night.
And just 2 more, and then I'll let you go. And thank you again for doing this on short notice. I appreciate it. Who's going to be the fan favorite on Saturday? This is your town. He's obviously a big deal in the UK. I'm the outsider. I've never been to a fight here. I'm just curious who's going to get cheered more on the way to the ring.
I mean, it should be me, being as it's in my hometown, shouldn't it? But with these YouTubers, I don't know, and it doesn't really matter to me. I'm not interested. Everyone in that building could be for KSI, and I'm still going to walk out on top because at the end of the day, the crowd can't fight for you. And on fight night, yeah, I'm tunnel visioned. I don't see anybody from the crowd. I don't hear anything. I'm just tunnel visioned on what I need to do, and that's that.
Okay, and last one for you. If all goes well for Logan Paul on Saturday and you're presented with a Logan Paul fight or a Jake Paul rematch, which interests you more next?
Whoever, I don't care. I'll fight them both at the same time. Seeing as this tag team match is going on, them two can tag the tag team up together. They can partner up, and when one gets tired, they can tag the other one in. How's that? And I'm a man of my word. I will do that. Them two can be in a team together against me by myself, and when one of them gets tired, they can tag each other in.
Fair enough. Thanks for doing this, Tommy. Appreciate it. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you, sir. God bless.
All right, there he is. Tommy TNT Fury joining us at the 11th hour. That was high intensity out of Tommy. Can you hear the interview, by the way, with those?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I heard everything.
That was high intensity out of Tommy.
Quite the promo.
What are you thinking? As a diehard Jake Paul fan, what are you thinking, Frankie?
Yeah, Frank.
Hearing those words.
Is your blood boiling?
That's a pretty good talk, but I think
he's kind of got me scared. He's kind of got me scared a little bit.
He had that look in his eye that he was serious.
I mean, he was fired up.
Yeah,
he was fired up. I was really impressed. I was impressed.
Feels like he's much more serious about it this time. About going out there and getting a stoppage.
I'm just writing back to someone here.
Sure.
You want to do the ad read?
Yeah, you got it.
Is he suggesting that you read the ad?
Oh, I love when GC does the ad reads. No, that was a lot of fun. I was not expecting us to get Tommy Fury here, but it's been a crazy day on the program. Honestly, when we started today, I wasn't actually expecting to have any guests on today's show, and we've gone from that to Platinum Perry being the most calm one of the bunch, to Mams Taylor, and now to Tommy Fury.
It's been a wild day.
It's been a wild day.
It feels like it's been one long day.
I feel like when I woke up Tuesday morning,
yeah,
this is the same day.
Yes, I'm with you. I'm not gonna lie. The wall's been officially
hit. We haven't had dinner yet.
Oh yeah, I mean we're gonna have to.
We're gonna have some.
Have to get through.
Should we get some curry? Who's that? God bless you. Who's that? Is that Dylan Dennis? That's Dylan Dennis's music.
Rick, are you
okay. No.
Rick, did you just sneeze, bro?
I think he's muted now. I think he's hoping that we didn't hear that. Gazoink tights.
That didn't look like a guy that just sneezed.
Okay, let me just get through these last two questions. This guy said, by the way, Gamecock Jake, he said, we got to get Action Bronson on the live show in November. We're working on guests.
Well, that's a good shout.
Dr. Baklava in attendance. I mean, this guy performs for a living. I can't ask him.
He's busy. He's very busy, but great shout.
Is New York Rick there? Because actually the last question is for New York Rick.
I'm here.
Okay, welcome back.
Did you sneeze? Was that you? Seriously?
Did I sneeze? Oh, shit. I don't know. I might have. Maybe. I actually don't know. I was
let's keep you muted until
this literally happened 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, okay, Frank. Yeah, how about properly communicating to the guests when they need to be on Zoom or not on Zoom? How about
I'm sorry, I can't hear you anymore.
We're supposed to trust this guy Rick that I actually said Underdogs podcast earlier. We need to roll the tape back on that.
I encourage you to roll the tape back on that.
Rick, last question of the day goes to you. Big money. Hello, Ariel and the gang. The unexpected Bills loss on Sunday morning was frustrating and depressing as a fan. Until I thought of the Chris Eubank Conor Benn fight for a moment.
How
lucky we'd be to witness such a masterpiece. New York Rick, Please take this opportunity to further discuss why Eubank versus Ben is undoubtedly the greatest fight of 23 and 24. Also, to Ariel, GC, and Frank, in your opinion, is there any other boxing match in the history of mankind that could possibly rival Eubank versus Ben in terms of big fights, quote unquote? How many pay-per-views could it realistically sell? 2 million? 3 million? Love the show as always. Thanks, boys. I mean, that's for,
what was this gentleman's name? What was that gentleman's name?
Big money.
I mean, oh God, it's perfect. Honestly, like, couldn't have said it better myself. Congratulations on the best question submission in a long time. I mean, what more do I need to say? You're already on the wave. Hopefully the rest of them get there with us. Ariel and GC and them are still a little bit behind, and that's okay. When Eddie comes calling and needs some people to promote this fight, like, just call me up. Leave the other non-believers behind. Just let me get out in front of that. Earlier today, it seemed like Eddie was talking about that it's getting close for December, and obviously that piqued my interest and I got excited. I'd say the biggest news in the last 24, 48 hours for sure, in the combat sports space. So yeah, let's do it. We're on our way, and I'm ready. Sign me up. December. I'm not gonna say yet I'll be there, but the thought of going there is already in my mind, and figuring out how to be a part of this.
You have been my eyes and ears on social media. Is there any update on the Paulo Costa situation?
Only more speculative, unconfirmed information tweets from like Costa and Hamzat. So nothing really worth lending too much credence to. Just a lot of you're a chicken, pull out this. Like we're kind of still in the same spot.
Okay. I'm seeing something about Henry Cejudo and Merab Dvalishvili.
Yeah, they had a little tete-a-tete via social media, it seems, where Merab is basically saying, hey, if you're the guy, let's do it. And Henry, I think, preemptively kind of trying to pick a fight with Merab. So yeah, it seems like those two want to fight, and it seems like Merab is recognizing that maybe he's not next for Sean O'Malley.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Quick word from our good friends over at DraftKings, and then we'll get the picks, and then GC and I can collapse. As you guys know, a lot going on in the world of combat sports. There's the big Sadiq Youssef, Edson Barbosa fight, and then, of course, the big one, 294, next weekend in Abu Dhabi. That's what it's named. Abu Dhabi. That's what it's named. Abu Dhabi, Abu Dhabi. This is from Garfield back in the day, in case anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about. There's also the NFL. The season is going strong, and DraftKings Sportsbook is hooking new customers up with an offer that's even stronger. There's also the baseball playoffs. Where do we watch the Braves?
Yeah, right. I think they have a game that's about to start here pretty soon. I mean, did we see game 2? That was unbelievable.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. Bet $5 on any game this week to score $200 instantly in bonus bets, and DraftKings isn't stopping there. All customers can take advantage of a sweetener offer every game day this October. Get in on the game day madness. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use the code TheMMAHour. New customers can score $200 instantly in bonus bets when you bet $5 on the NFL. That's code TheMMAHour only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the National Football League. The crown is yours. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.100.net. Gambler.net, in New York, call 877-8-HOPENY or text HOPENY, that's 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org, or please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino Resorts in Kansas. Licensee partner, Golden Nugget, Lake Charles, Louisiana. 21 and older, age varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources. Yeah. You know, when I come home from a long day and I'm like hungry and tired, my kids always say like, your breath stinks. You need to eat something, stuff like that. So I've been putting the microphone because I feel like I haven't eaten anything since, like, when did we eat? We ate at like 8 o'clock this morning, which was 3. We haven't eaten anything for a very long time, right?
Yeah, long time. Busy day.
Busy day, my
man.
gosh.
Running all. I got my step counter on.
Yeah, what do you got?
Let's see.
You actually have a step counter? Wow.
Since I left my house yesterday, 18,000 steps.
Wow.
I mean, we've been moving.
I just texted someone very close to the situation and asked them if there's any word And the answer I got regarding the Paulo Costa fight, and the answer I got was it's not happening, meaning his involvement on the card.
Paulo Costa out.
Yeah.
Not fighting on UFC 294.
That's what it appears as though I am getting here in this text. So that is devastating.
Yeah.
I'm devastated.
Hurts.
I'm devastated.
I mean, that fight, too. Now, who do they get to step in for Hamzat?
There's talks. I don't know. If DC says something big is in the works. So
Was that Usman? Strickland?
No. Why would Strickland do that?
Money? If we got
that would be crazy.
Islam versus Volk 2, which we're getting, and Hamzat versus Usman, is the card just as good, if not better?
Mm-hmm.
That's a quality card.
It's pretty great, but I really love that fight. I was told to check his Twitter, but I don't see anything on his Twitter. So, anyway, last thing I saw him say was, UFC paid for surgery, you idiot. Do you think they didn't know about this? Fuck genius. All right, what do we got?
Let's hit the randomizer. I'm going to go ahead and just hop in here. Not standing out. I got the randomizer on mobile this week, guys. Wow, we almost just had a disaster.
Oh, my God. You almost knocked it down?
No. I almost just stepped on the microphone cord and just walked right out with it. All right. Randomizer on mobile. Let me hit that one more time. Sorry about that, Frank. There we go. Looks like Frank actually will be first. Rick second. I will go third. Chris Gutierrez, the pick of one Juliana Pena.
What a pick.
Nice.
That's a great pick. So, Frank, you'll be going. You'll be leading us off here.
Sure. So I'm going to stick with the UFC card. And I'm going to go with Jennifer Maia and Viviane Araújo over 2.5.
Love it.
You really seem like you love it.
Sorry, we're working on some framing.
By the way, the 3-shot is brutal, Alex. I mean, I'm just chilling, drinking my water. The 3-shot.
I'm looking down at the.
By the way, it's actually impressive that there is a 3-shot.
Yeah.
How did they split the picture like that?
They must have done two of this shot. And
it's like we're not even in the same room yet. We're actually in the same room.
Yeah, I mean, you can jump in the box.
Okay, go ahead.
Obviously, we're watching the stream.
I know.
That brings us to Rick.
Keeping it simple, I'll take one Terrence McKinney for this parlay.
Why are you laughing?
I'm thinking back on Rick's sneeze. That was just so random.
He looks so unpleased by this.
It was just so
I have
ridiculous.
no idea. I very well may have sneezed, but I wasn't even aware I was live. But I mean, again, it speaks to the
whoever sneezed. It was
Frank and Joe.
Okay,
it sounded like it came from the Zoom.
It was a full body sneeze straight into the mic.
Yeah, that if it was a loud sneeze, that was probably me because I have a very strong aggressive sneeze. But yeah, I mean, just it's been a clown car with Frank and Joe driving it today in terms of making sure
you have set precedents. You mute yourself, and then one time you decide not to mute yourself, and it's Joe and I's fault.
Yeah, I completely agree with Frank.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Joe.
that's not cool. All right, who's next?
A little CJ on the show there. That'll bring us to me. Fourth and final. Head to my favorite spot, the alternate total rounds. Edgar Shirez, Daniel Lacerda, the rematch. Under 2.5, minus 450. And that brings the parlay plus money, plus 190. Ashley Yoder. Oh, you know what? No, it doesn't. I'm sorry, guys. You're on top of these. You're on top of these here, Frankie. Yeah, no, we're still at plus money. Looks like it's going to be
another win for us.
Yeah, plus 178. Chris Gutierrez minus 380. Terrence McKinney minus 500. Shirez Lacerda under 2.5 minus 450. Maya Araújo minus 500. Plus 178.
Okay.
Another dub coming. Keep the train rolling.
Big dubs. What about for you?
I'm feeling good about it. So, yeah, I'm actually going to do my picks because of the busyness of today. First time in a long time, no graphics.
Wow.
Prepped.
Jedi's going to be pissed.
Yeah, no, I mean, he doesn't get much play on those anyway, so like I'm actually kind of doing him a favor here. And I'm reading off the phone for my notes, and the notes are short, but I will give my...
So you can't go to a full screen of anything.
Can you pop your collar while you do this?
No. The zip up is already going far enough. I can't pop the collar. So I'll just give my 3 favorite plays. One actually comes off of the man that just joined us, and then I will bounce to Rick for his favorite play of the week because it's a very juicy one. It's very interesting. I'll start in the UFC though. I took Chris Gutierrez as Juliana Pena did a little bit earlier in the week. That line is getting big time juiced. I mean, it is absolutely flying down. But yeah, I think the leg kicks are going to pay dividends. I think he's got a lot of advantages in the matchup. The speed and also him getting a full camp and Alatang being on short notice. Another one that I believe is still at plus money on a couple books. Michel Pereira taking on Andre Petrosky. I'm going to take the over 2.5 in that one. Pereira, 7 straight over 2.5. Despite how crazy his fights can be. And then combined between the two in their UFC careers, 11 of 13 over the 2.5, and you're getting it at close to plus money, if not plus money. The stats, the line should not be what that is. And then I will go to Manchester, to Influencer Boxing.
Wait, there's odds?
Oh, yeah, there's odds.
Wow.
Yeah, on a couple books out there are odds, and I'm assuming DraftKings will add throughout the week. But I am actually going to take the main event, KSI Tommy Fury.
I didn't know there were odds. Legit.
Oh, yeah.
We
haven't talked about this?
I think, weren't we waiting on something? Like, weren't we waiting on Dylan Dennis or something?
The odds are out for that.
Oh.
So Dennis plus 350.
I guess I don't understand.
I believe Rick was waiting for it to come to a certain book. DraftKings Sportsbook, that is.
Okay, all right.
But I will be taking the book.
The Book of Love.
Main event. KSI Tommy Fury. I'm going to take it to go to a decision. Kind of scared after that interview there. But I mean, if you look at it, Tommy Fury has been to 4 straight decisions. KSI, I do think Tommy Fury has him covered. I think he likely gets the dub. But 6 rounds, I don't think Tommy's going to finish him. I think this one goes to a decision. That is also a plus money play. And then I do have a parlay that I feel very confident in from the UFC realm. Hopefully can get a parlay in for the Misfits card. Aruja Maya over 1.5. Shiraz Lacerda under 2.5. McKinney Marote under 2.5 as well. A little violence and pacifist parlay there. And then over to Rick. I know you feel very strongly about a play this weekend.
I honestly have no idea what you're talking about. What are we talking about? I'm serious. What are you talking about?
This is absolutely ludicrous. I mean, we spent half the day on Monday talking about how you're going to bet on Dylan Dennis.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look. Okay, sorry. I was confused
do we not sit at lunch and he's just like, if I bet, I'm going to go heavy because I feel really strongly about plays. Yeah, I don't bet often, but when I do, it's a heavy play.
You're misunderstanding and mischaracterizing. I don't feel strong about it. Nobody should feel strong betting on Dylan Dennis. What I feel strong about is the value. The value is there on Dylan Dennis. I'm going to bet on Dylan Dennis, no doubt. I don't know if the line is out. I was looking on FanDuel. What's that?
Why would you look on FanDuel? Sportsbook.draftkings.com is the way to go. Man, I thought we were going to get a sales pitch here. I mean, you talked Joe into it. Joe's doing it. You're starting to talk me into it.
I'm doing it.
No, I guess not now. I was expecting.
I wasn't on the same page.
Yeah, I guess.
No, I wasn't on the same page. I wasn't on the same page.
I thought when I was teeing that up, it was gonna. You were gonna
Speaking of not being on the same page.
No.
Listen,
I never bet.
You can't. You can't feel strong about betting on Dylan Dennis, but man, too much value to deny here. Like, I just can't. There's no world where Logan Paul should be that big a favorite against Dylan Dennis. So, and Dylan Dennis shouldn't be this big an underdog. Like he is, regardless of what the last few years have looked like. He's a fighter. He is a legit fighter, and Logan Paul is a WWE star who boxes occasionally. So yeah, no, I'm on Dylan Dennis. I was confused by this is not an endorsement of Dylan Dennis. It's just a play that is devoid of emotion. I would, I don't feel particularly compelled. But I see the value, and Dylan Dennis has the value in my opinion. Like,
I feel like this is you getting back at me for Sneezegate. I feel like you're giving me one
I
back
honestly,
for Sneezegate.
The sneeze I didn't know happened, and this one I just wasn't sure what you were talking about. But yeah, no, now I'm understanding. But it was just me being disconnected from the idea of like, I don't love Dylan Dennis here. Like, there's definitely some part of me that's like, oh boy, I'm betting on the guy that everybody's been talking shit about for the last 2.5 to 3 years. Can I rely on him? But if I'm looking at this objectively, between the two of them, like, one dude's a fighter and one dude is not. And there's some real value on Dennis, I think. Could I be proven wrong? You know what, and I said this on Monday, the part that scares me is the 6 rounds. I hate the 6 rounds part of it, because I could just see something wonky happening. If Dylan looks bad in the first 2 rounds, all of a sudden you're in a hole and it really gets dicey. You have to either get the knockout or win the rest of the fight, which is tough. But yeah, I'm gonna bet on Dennis. I am gonna bet on Dennis, no doubt about it.
That was a long answer to I'm gonna bet on Dennis. I just want to say that was a very long answer, but I appreciate
No, well, I mean, I think I got teed up for like I needed to give it. So I'm trying to.
I teed him up.
I
teed him up. But I thought he felt strongly.
Let me say 2 things.
Talking about it,
there's a tweet out there that's getting a ton of views saying that I'm reporting that Khamzat is fighting Kamaru Usman. I did not report that, so that is not true. I mean, this thing. Look how many views it has.
Oh my God, it has 3,500 likes. Do you think this is because
5 seconds ago we got
Khamzat?
We got what?
Go ahead, Rick.
We got some emojis from Kamaru Usman, so the timing is interesting.
I mean, listen, if it's right, then I'm going to take credit. If it's wrong, I'm not. But I did not actually say that.
Is there any chance that this is because immediately after you said that was off, I was like, oh, what if we got Usman?
I mean, yes, from this account that I've never heard of.
How many likes?
Sure. Yeah, it's a lot of likes. Paulo Costa also tweeting, I go resume. I got staph bacteria inside my elbow. Doctors are pulling me out of the fight. And I'm also being told that 24 hours after our interview on Monday, he went back to the doctor and his elbow is infected. And he posted something with a gruesome photo, and then he deleted it for some reason. But the fight isn't happening. And if DC is on point and he's saying something crazy is going on, one would think it's not Marvin Vettori or Roman Dolidze or even Jared Cannonier, who I said isn't going to be fighting. An Usman-like name would be quote-unquote crazy, but I have not been able to confirm that. We've been sitting here for the past 4 hours, and we'll see what happens as the world turns. By Monday, we should have some sort of clarity on this. So stay tuned, my friends. We're out of time. I am tired. Are you tired?
Yes, very tired.
I can't believe we pulled this off. This has been tremendous. Shout out to GC. GC really made this happen.
Shout out to everyone in New York, though.
Shout out to everyone in New York, especially Frank for coming in at 3:30. I mean, the sacrifice.
If that hadn't happened, this wouldn't be happening right now.
Clearly. And then, of course, the entire team, New York Rick, of course, and Corporate Alex and Joe making this happen. It's a big deal. I always used to be so tied to the studio. There was one time, by the way, I was at UFC 213 in Las Vegas. Amanda Nunes versus... It was Amanda Nunes against Raquel Pennington, was it? It fell through. No, Shevchenko. It fell through, and then the main event ended up being Robert Whittaker versus Yoel Romero for the interim title. And I was in Vegas on a Saturday night. I flew home on a Sunday to do the show in studio on Monday because there was no other way to do the show back then elsewhere, 2017. Only after the show to fly back to LA to do the first leg of the Mayweather-McGregor press conference, which I then ended up finding out that I was getting pulled from an hour before the press conference. In any event, to think that we can now do these shows from Manchester, from Montreal, from California, from Dallas is huge. And we're going to be doing more of these in the future. I want, when you think of big events, whether it's MMA, boxing, pro wrestling, crossover boxing, Premier League football, you think of this program, all right? You think of this program. So shout out to everyone, and thanks for the support, and thanks to everyone who tuned in today. This was a lot of fun. Now we're going to get some curry. Are we getting curry?
Yeah.
Are you a big curry guy?
I love curry, yeah.
Frank, you in?
Get a Ruby.
I don't know.
Is that a place?
That's a cockney for curry.
Oh.
Get a Ruby.
I have to
you
say,
guys have been there
Nando's?
for 12 hours. And
oh, I'm down for Nando's. I haven't been to Nando's. Tesco meal deal. I mean, something quick.
Tesco, shout out to Arnold.
I just wish, because it's literally me and you sitting in like a disgustingly dirty hotel room. Like there is.
These people probably looked around. I mean, we had like Mams here. I don't know how much that guy is worth now, and he's probably looking like, what am I doing?
There's knives on the table, half drinking like lemonade, cocktails, emergency, a bunch of trash wrappers.
We've got some flags here that we bought that are taped up. I mean, shout out.
Yeah, this is
Queen bobblehead.
This is a scene.
The Queen
Shout
bobblehead.
out.
May she rest in peace.
When we went to
a
a Manchester souvenir store, and they told us it was not weird to
I actually said, is it weird to have the Queen? They're like, no, everyone loves the Queen. I'm like, all right, double-decker bus.
They're probably just trying to make it.
Yes, he was trying to sell me on a flag of the Queen, and then I put my
seen a lot of black cabs.
A lot of black cabs.
Frank.
Anyway, peace and love, my friends. Time to go. I'll be a part of the press conference tomorrow. I have no idea what that is going to look like. I'll be a part of the weigh-ins, and I'll be a part of the broadcast as well. And then, God willing, we'll be back in studio, back home, safe and sound on Monday to talk about this craziness. May have a fun in-studio guest for Monday. Stay tuned for that. For now, though, we're out of time. You know what our new song should be? That song from Kill Bill. I love that. I've been listening to that song ever since Monday. You shot me down, bang, bang.
I think it's called Bang Bang.
Hit
by Kill
me
Bill.
down, bang, bang. Great intro, by the way. Did you guys like that song?
Yeah, I didn't realize you were going to freestyle like that. Had you seen that before, or did you literally just freestyle that off the dome?
No, but we do have breaking news, Frank. Hit the music. Dana White has just announced he thought we were done. He thought we were done. I was right. As first reported by Ariel Helwani, Khamzat Chimaev will fight Kamaru Usman in the 294 co-main event.
Wow.
He thought we were done. And now our show is comprehensive. Because I was going to say, he announced it 2 minutes just to screw with us. Thank you, Dana. As I hope he said as first reported, right? As first reported by Helwani in this show.
I mean, that's what someone said.
Someone is saying that. Thank you, MMA Time, for giving us the credit where it's due. Khamzat Chimaev versus Kamaru Usman.
Wow.
I presume at 185 pounds.
I would strongly.
And this is an opportunity. If Kamaru Usman wins this fight, are we looking at a situation where Kamaru Usman is fighting Sean Strickland for the middleweight title at some point in 2024? Is this not the craziest sport on the planet? Is this not the craziest sport on the planet? I love the fact that the tweet under it is Strickland from Chelsea 59 minutes ago. God bless. Craziest sport on the planet, craziest job on the planet. We are blessed to do this job. We are thankful for all of you. We are grateful for all of you. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Back on Monday, same time, different place. Until then, we say peace.